searching a hospital complex that the Israelis say Hamas had been using as a terrorist base. Israel's military has released video of weapons it says were recovered in the hospital, as well as a nearby tunnel. Following yesterday's sit-down with China's president, today President Biden meets with Mexican President Obrador, the sidelines of the APEC summit now wrapping up in San Francisco. And President Biden has signed a stopgap spending bill to keep the government up and running into the new year.
The temporary spending measure keeps government funding at current levels for about 2 more months, while lawmakers negotiate a long-term package. It splits the deadlines for passing full-year appropriations into 2 days, January 19th for some federal agencies and February 2nd for others. The 2 deadlines were pushed by the new Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, who said he would not support any further stopgap funding measures. The spending bill does not include a request from the White House for nearly $106 billion for wartime aid for Israel and Ukraine. John Warder, Washington.
A court victory for former President Trump. A New York appeals court judge putting a gag order on hold. It had barred Mr. Trump from commenting on court staffers in his civil fraud trial. A mistrial declared in the federal civil rights trial of former Kentucky police officer Brett Hankinson, charged in the police raid that killed Breonna Taylor. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures up 109 points. NASDAQ futures down 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now playing.
Harry, God has chosen you to have a son, the King of all kings.
The greatest story ever told is now an epic Christmas musical for the whole family.
You truly believe that this child is the chosen one? What is his name?
Jesus.
Journey to Bethlehem. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters everywhere now. Soundtrack also available. Get tickets now at journeytobethlehem.com.
Hi, Rhett Rasmussen of BestHotGrill.com. Step up your grilling game with our Solaire portable infrared grills. Our compact everywhere is a favorite of RVers and trailer pullers. Solaire infrared provides the quick sear for bar marks and texture needed to properly finish sous vide. Use a portable alongside your larger conventional grill to create an instant sear zone and more juicy and flavorful food. Learn more at BestHotGrill.com. Affordable, powerful, portable infrared grills at BestHotGrill.com.
Residents of a small village in Myanmar say 8 children are among those killed when an Air Force jet bombed a makeshift school.
Wilu is a remote hilltop village of fewer than 80 households in southern Chin State. According to accounts posted by residents on social media, military aircraft dropped at least 2 bombs on them on Wednesday evening. One destroyed a house which was being used as an improvised school, killing the 8 children and 3 adults who were studying there. Southern Chin State has seen frequent clashes between the armed forces and different insurgent groups, but local people say there's been no fighting near Wilu, and they don't understand why their village was targeted.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. A powerful undersea earthquake has shaken the southern Philippines, causing ceilings in a shopping mall to collapse as shoppers screamed. But there have been no immediate reports of injuries, no tsunami warning. News and analysis at townhall.com. Can't behave yourself? You'll pay.
A woman from Hawaii has been ordered to pay nearly $39,000 in restitution to American Airlines for interfering with a crew on a flight last year. A U.S. district judge in Phoenix sentenced 29-year-old Kayla Ferris to more than 3 months of time plus 3 years of supervised probation. Ferris was on a February 13, 2022 flight from Phoenix to Honolulu when she began using profanity and threatened the flight crew and other passengers. The aircraft turned around and landed in Phoenix. John Scott reporting.
Repairs to an elevated section of freeway in Los Angeles closed because of an arson fire last weekend, moving faster than expected. All lanes scheduled to be reopened by Tuesday. Earlier this week, officials said it could take crews between 3 to 5 weeks to shore up the mile-long stretch of Interstate 10 near downtown Los Angeles. The blaze burned about 100 support columns. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to it. Holiday week next week with the Thanksgiving week. So I know we got a little bit of holiday-itis in us.
Got that itis?
Yeah, I got a little bit of the itis. Holiday-itis. Sports-itis.
It's funny. I had one of those like shower thoughts yesterday, but in my car. I wasn't showering in my car, but one of those just like, whoa. Christmas is at its peak at like 5, age 5. The Christmas, the holiday season, the excitement, the allure, the magic of it.
Yeah.
And it just steadily gets worse, right? But the reason it gets worse is because as we get older, we are trying so hard to keep the magic alive.
That's true.
That's why it gets so much harder for us as we get older. Because everybody I've talked to recently is like, oh, bah humbug, I'm not really feeling the holiday spirit. And I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's all because we're trying to keep the magic alive, doggone it.
Yeah. I think, well, this is why we need to have Thanksgiving to happen.
Yep.
Because I think Thanksgiving, you get together, you turkey, you have your laughs and fun, and you're like, all right, now I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
We need Thanksgiving.
Do this.
To get us to the Christmas spirit. So,
every time.
So that's why I say, that's why you don't sleep on Thanksgiving.
Nope.
Because you need it. It's not only
do it up and do it up big time.
Not only is the best holiday. I don't care what anybody says. Thanksgiving is the best holiday. Better than Christmas. Better than, and I'm not talking, the importance of. I'm just talking strictly of what you do on that day. Thanksgiving is the best day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yes, to give thanks, but it really is a day of eating turkey and watching football. And
yeah,
God bless America for that. That is amazing.
It's, as I've gotten older, there's only a few things that are like standard traditions in my life. And one of the big ones, and it gets harder and harder every year as I drift further and further away from regular TV.
Yeah.
But the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade has been a staple in my life ever since I was a wee little baby.
And I would say many Americans would agree with that sentiment.
And I'm not a huge parade guy. I mean, I love the Eastern New Mexico State Fair parade we have here. It's a great tradition thing, but I'm not a huge parade guy. But that parade, there's something about it that just instills in you, this is the holiday season.
Well, to me, and this is going back to my kid brain. Why the Macy's parade was always the coolest one, because if in my memory, and I don't know about in modern world here, but in my memory, the only parade that had the huge giant balloons was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I mean, the Rose Bowl parade's pretty, but as a kid, like, the flowers, I can't appreciate the amount of work that goes into those.
That's what I always liked, is like, okay, this looks like it took a long time.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I could care less because there was no characters.
But in my 5-6-year-old brain, when there's a 3-story Snoopy going down New York City, I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
And still to this day, that's an exciting thing for me. It's like, okay, what's going to be new this year?
Yeah.
What new inflatables are they going to introduce?
Yeah, and see, now I watch it, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? And then occasionally, like, and here's a classic, and I'm like, that was like brand new, and I remember it, it's like...
The classic is now the SpongeBob balloon.
Yeah. I'm like, classic for me was like olive oil.
In fairness, SpongeBob has been a thing since I was in high school.
Is it true?
SpongeBob's been around to me.
A long time, 30, 40 years here now.
No, not that long. I'd say it started in 99.
I'd say about...
So 20 something.
Almost 30 years, dude.
You said 30, 40.
Okay. But give me my low end, 30.
I'll give you your low end.
Y'all want to go high? Go low a little bit.
Same thing with, it's like, you look at like, even cartoons that are like new, like Family Guy's and one of those newer ones.
Yeah.
That thing's been on for 26 years now.
Well, like even to me, I'm like Paw Patrol. But even still, that's probably been around 10 years,
It has been around for a long, long time, yes.
But to me, I'm like, what's this Paw Patrol thing?
It's been around for the entirety of both of my kids' lives, which is now 10 years.
Yeah,
so
and the only reason I
decade.
know about it is my brother, my nephews. They're, at least they were. I don't know. They're a little older now, and maybe they outgrown Paw Patrol. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But that was the deal for that. And to be honest, you may get mad at this, and others. I'd get mad when it's like, oh, another stupid marching band. No, get to the balloons. I don't care about the marching band.
Yes and no.
Well, as I got older, I do. But when I'm 5, no.
The
balloons,
excitement,
please.
the excitement to me is because I know that only like 3 or 4 bands, nationwide bands, besides like the New York, obligatory bands, get picked every year to come to the parade.
Yeah.
And so it was exciting to me to see which ones it is.
Right, but as I got older, I appreciated that. But when I was 5, I'm like, this is slowing me down.
Sure.
Don't stop and sing. No. Don't you stop and sing. Move along, because olive oil.
See, that's
2 floats behind.
That's where you and I get past the main Macy's Square, where all the plays, the Broadway shows or whatever, get to stop and do their set.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've always loved that. Like, even as like a little boy, I was like, I always loved watching
now as
big sets.
Now as an adult, I like watching it, but to see how bad they're lip syncing. That's usually my.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's usually my favorite reason for watching it now. But let me try to explain this to you in the best way I can. This is going to be a little confusing, but we got a lot of sports for you over the next 2 days here, and I'm going to try to break it down.
Grab a pen and a piece of paper. You're going to want to jot this down
that you can remotely understand what I'm saying here. So we've got high school volleyball action. Your Goddard Lady Rockets are in the playoffs here.
Yep.
In the thick of it. They won 3 sets to none in their first game yesterday. We also have Roswell Coyote playoff football going on this weekend here. So here's what's going on. We got day 2 of volleyball playoffs. Your Goddard Lady Rockets, like I said, they won 3 sets to nothing yesterday, and will now over Gallup. Now they take on, and by the way, Goddard's the 2 seed, if you're not familiar. Well, they will now take on at 4 p.m. this afternoon the 3 seed, St. Pius Sartans, who defeated, let me look at this, Hope Christian 3 sets to 2.
Okay.
The rating's real tiny. I got to look. So that game will be at 4 o'clock today. That will have online only, ksvptv.com. You can listen to the game, audio only, but online, ksvptv.com. Kelly McDonald and Chris Deck will be calling that game for you at 4 o'clock today. Now, if Goddard wins today, which is what we want, they will not be in action until 2 o'clock tomorrow. Yes, 2 o'clock tomorrow. I had to go double check my blind eyes here. In the semifinal matchup. And then if they win that, then they'll play for a championship at 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Right. That's if they win tonight.
Now, if they win tonight, that 2 o'clock game tomorrow, we'll have audio only online. ksvptv.com.
Right.
If they go to the championship game that day, we'll have that game online like we were, but
and
also we'll put it on the radio here.
Right.
Now, if Goddard loses today at 4 o'clock, then they will be back in action at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. If that's the case, we will have that game for you on the radio and at ksvptv.com.
Right.
If they win that game at 8 o'clock, then they will play at 4 o'clock for the, I guess, semifinals into the regular bracket, into the championship. If they win that game at 4 o'clock, then they go and play the champ. Hold on, let me make sure I get that right. 4 o'clock, and then so I think then they win here, then they go, M20, winner M20. Okay.
They play for third at that point, right?
Then if they play at 8, then they play again. I think it's 4:00. And if they win at 4, then they play at 6 for the championship.
So it'll be a much busier day if they don't win today.
So kind of hoping they win today, and then we play a game at 2, and then we play a game at 6. That's
Ladies, bring the heat.
Now, that being said, that's what we'll have for the Goddard side. Now, today's game will be audio only. Tomorrow's games, with the exception of a semifinal at 2 o'clock, will be on the radio and audio only, ksvptv.com.
Right.
The reason we can't bring the semifinal to you is because we'll be carrying the Goddard Roswell Coyote game at Deming for the semifinal playoff matchup
starting at 1 tomorrow.
Kelly will call that game for you. Yes, he's going to be calling in. Yes, you heard me right. He will be calling games in Albuquerque or in Rio Rancho today, and then tomorrow we'll be in Deming to call that game for you.
See, what we haven't told you is we actually have a Matter transmogrifier, and we just zip them from one part of the state to the other.
Actually, we got a big overnight FedEx box we put them in, and then
it actually it took a lot of trial and error. We accidentally sent through just Chris Deck and Chris Royball's legs. It was very weird.
Well, the first couple times it put the legs on the other guy.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird.
That was odd.
We fixed that.
They're like, what? Those are my pleats.
Chris Deck's like, I'm stealing your shoes, Chris. Anyway, now that they fit.
Yeah,
but
we worked the kinks out. Now it's fine.
But we will have that game for you on the radio during that time. So,
did everybody get that? Everybody get it all jotted down?
Yeah.
Actually, no. Could you start from the top? I wasn't really listening.
I missed that. Can you start over again? So, that's what's going on with our volleyball and football playoff action here for you. Also, need to thank the fine folks at McDonald's as they do each and every single Friday. Provide us with delicious breakfast treats. Swing on by any McDonald's near you. Better yet, download the app. Order your food there, and then you can go through the drive-thru. You could go in and dine in. Shoot, you could even stay in your pajamas and let them bring it to you.
Doggone right.
Through delivery, McDelivery. But they've got it all covered, and you start earning free rewards towards free food the very first time you order through that app. They have exclusive deals and specials that are only privy to those who utilize the app, which are some pretty good deals. Those old school, I like to order off the menu and then walk around and pay and do all that. They don't get exclusive. They don't get to access these deals.
I mean, I can appreciate that you're embracing the old school, but I don't want to hear it from you when you have to pay full retail price and I'm over here enjoying like bathing in points.
Yeah, that's right. And then VIP and zipping through and all that.
Boy, that's nice.
Ball of shot call.
I even like impressed my daughter the other day because like I pulled up and they're like, Sean, go right ahead, and Rhiannon's like, wow. Like I just paid ahead, Rhiannon. It's not
I'm
that
a
big
Mick
a deal.
VIP. What's
That's
up?
Right. But yeah, the points save your bacon. Rhiannon had her Thanksgiving dinner at school.
Yeah,
she wasn't super duper into
not
eating
into
that
Thanksgiving,
stuff.
huh?
So I took her some McDonald's. She enjoyed that, and I went ahead and ate her food. I even pulled a There Will Be Bloodline. I was like, I drink your milk.
So she had Thanksgiving and McNuggets.
She did, yeah.
And you had Thanksgiving of Thanksgiving. Good. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
We're actually doing an early Thanksgiving, like friends thing at Mrs. T's tonight, and then probably a more non-traditional thing. She has her stepdaughter and new granddaughter are in town.
Oh, cool!
Just rolling through, so they're gonna have an early Thanksgiving tonight.
Okay.
And just something probably more non-traditional next week.
Nice. Well, good. Sounds like fun.
I figure I'm gonna be burnt out on turkey and whatnots.
I love the 6 Thanksgivings.
I finally, thanks to a truly great friend of mine, indulged in some cranberry sauce last night, and boy, it was everything I was remembering.
Was it as satisfying as you had hoped?
It is.
You know what I'd like to get my hands on? Since you got my mouth all worked up for Cheerwine a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
During this time of year, and they just released it, is the Cheerwine Holiday Punch.
Ooh.
Yes. They release it around the holidays every time. I've never had it.
You've never had it?
Never had it. I see it every year, but I've never been near one in the holidays. So I'd like to procure one and give it a little dance. Holiday Punch.
I will tell you that I don't think they have the 0, but I did eyeball Cheerwine on the shelves at the South Albertsons.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Cheerwine getting
the full length,
expansive.
not the 0. But
yeah.
By the way, since we're speaking back at McDonald's, they released their holiday cups.
Oh yeah,
these are awesome. I admire a nice holiday cup.
It looks better in the clear.
It does, yeah, because it really.
I got iced tea. It's kind of muddy.
The colors really pop.
Yeah.
But props to McDonald's for keeping all the words off of it, so there's no War on Christmas retaliation. We're just celebrating non-geometric shapes. That's all. It's not a tree. That's a triangle.
It's not a snowflake.
It's not. That is an asterisk. No, that right there, that's the Greendale College flag.
That's not saying. That's a wizard.
E pluribus unum.
The everyman. It is. Let me give you the rundown. I haven't done that yet. Let me do that right quick. We do have a full slate for you. We're going to have the folks from Richland join us here in just a bit. Give us an update what's going on at Richland Motors. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Bill Williams, Chaffetz County Manager, scheduled to join us. Give us an update what happened at the last county commission meeting and other things happening around Chaffetz County. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we'll have the folks from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico join us. Probably recap the Heritage Dinner a little bit. Also, this weekend, beginning today, is the Holiday Magic Art and Crafts Fair, starting this morning, actually, in the Convention Civic Center all day today and tomorrow. But I know John LeMay is going to be there, so John may join us with the Historical Side, talk a little bit about what he's got going on at the Holiday Magic show as well, too. Before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight and we'll dip into the upper 40s and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70 and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 54 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 80%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. We're looking at partly cloudy skies, 71 for a high today. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of 40 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. For the weekend on Saturday, partly cloudy. Highs right around 70 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 46 degrees. South winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For your Sunday, sunny skies and 73 for a high. West winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Monday, they're talking a 20% chance at showers. High of only 58 under mostly sunny skies. Tuesday of next week, sunny and 59. Wednesday of next week and Thanksgiving Day of next week, we'll be back into the mid-60s under sunny skies. But pretty nice for the weekend, and then a bit of a cool down Monday and Tuesday next week, and then kind of dips back into more moderate temps for Thanksgiving, looks like. All right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll have the folks from Richland join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Coming to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center Saturday, November 18th.
It's been a hard day's night.
Yesterday, a tribute to the Beatles.
Oh, I believe in yesterday.
The tribute band endorsed by Sir Paul McCartney returns to the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia for one night only, Saturday, November 18th. Get tickets and more info at artesiaartscouncil.com. Yesterday, a tribute to the Beatles, Saturday, November 18th at the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center in Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
It's time once again to celebrate the magic of the holiday season at the 42nd Annual Holiday Magic Arts and Crafts Show, Friday and Saturday, November 17th and 18th at the Roswell Convention Center, featuring a variety of unique handmade creations by artists, artisans, and crafters from New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona. There's fine art, jewelry, woodwork, women's and children's apparel, leatherwork, Christmas decor, sweet green chili, and much more. This year's featured artists, Judy and Bruce Buckman from Las Cruces, displaying their embroidered sweatshirts, purses, aprons, and Christmas decorations. Enjoy pumpkin rolls and cookies by Deborah Lucas, delightful mini donuts by Karen Hendrick, coffee and soda by Sodalicious Beverage Buggy, to delicious meals prepared by Eli's Bistro, Bubba's Pit Stop, and the Fry Bread Lady. Proceeds benefit the Assurance Home, the First Tee of Southeastern New Mexico, Christian Outreach Ministries, and Roswell's local high schools. Admission is $3. Children under 12 are free. Celebrate the 42nd Annual Holiday Magic Arts and Crafts Show, November 17th and 18th at the Roswell Convention Center.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:27, and joining us in studio this morning, we have the Richland Boys. We'll go with that one. Yes. Malcolm's here, and then we got to talking about chips and burning our mouths off that I forgot to introduce the other guys. Tell us your names, gentlemen, the other guys, our other two gentlemen here.
Caesar.
Oh, pull that mic up here. I forgot to tell you all that, too. We got to talk about chips and didn't prep them or nothing, so we were just talking. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Caesar Leyva.
Hi, Caesar.
And Ricardo Villa.
All right, Ricardo. So we got Ricardo, Caesar, and Malcolm with us here from Richland.
Yes,
Are all
sir.
you guys at the GM store, or do you split
Yes, sir.
time?
We're on the same team. So.
Very good. All the same team.
Mhm.
So I mean, you got the Dodge Boys. Do you guys have a moniker at the GM store?
Not really.
No, I think you need one.
The Car Boys.
The Car Boys?
Yeah, Car Guys. I mean, that's our team name.
There you go.
That's
It's the Car Guys. Let's go with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure now that we're here in November, and of course Black Friday and things like that. But which means you guys probably have some pretty good incentives and deals going on at probably both the GM and the Dodge store.
Mhm.
So if you're a Dodge person or a GM or whatever, they got you covered at both locations here.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys are more well versed on the GM incentives and things right now. So
Yeah, it's definitely, things are looking way better than it has.
Good deal.
Before the beginning of the year. So with
Is selection getting better? Back? I know we're not like we were 2 years ago, but we're certainly not like we were 6 years ago either. So are you starting to see more consistently new cars sitting on the lot, things like that? I mean, I know they sell pretty quick, but to a point where they can actually be on the lot for a few days before they get snatched up.
Yeah, it's been steady. We've been getting a lot of nice stuff. We're getting more Yukons and Tahoes in.
Okay.
And they've been sticking around a little longer than being gone in the first 2 days, so that's good.
And we were talking last month with Scott and Brady, and we were kind of talking like you're also seeing a lot of a better selection of the pre-owned, because a lot of people got like new vehicles during COVID, but it was the wrong shade of blue, or it had gray interior instead of brown interior or something like that.
Yeah.
And so now they're turning them back in to get the vehicles that they wanted with the colors and the wheels that they wanted, which means you got these basically brand new vehicles that there ain't nothing wrong with them. They're, all the brand new sticker prices off of them, but they're basically brand new vehicles, but somebody didn't want it because the interior is brown instead of black or something like that.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
So if you're looking for those kind of deals too, it's probably a good time to check out the pre-owned lot too. It's like, hey, yeah, I know that these other. Let me see if you got like a 2-year-old Yukon, but that's got like very low mileage on it or something like that. You're going to see more of that on the pre-owned lot too right now. So
like Freddie was saying, 80 units. So
wow, that's great. So I'm curious for you guys. Do you like? I'm just gee whiz curious. Like when y'all get there, like what's the move while you're waiting for kind of the day to go? Is it kind of like, do you have to get out in the lot and like wait, or do you kind of just hang out? And I always wonder like what that, because I know once the customers are there, then it's game on. But like, what's in between? What do you guys do in between? Is that where the I know there's a lot of cooking because every time you're, it doesn't matter which Richland store you're at, there's always smells of food. But like, what's going on, like while the customers are coming or before they get there?
Well, we have a database of clientele that we've worked or have been in the dealership in the past. And we just work through that. And even leads that we've had in the previous months, we just try to keep in contact with them.
So just kind of stay in touch with your regular customers because that's kind of, every salesperson has kind of your clientele and maybe you just sold them a car. So then you're checking back. Hey, how's it going? Everything good.
Exactly.
Don't forget, you got an oil change coming up. Don't, bring in. So a lot of that's tending to your customers you already have, which is kind of a Richland thing with the champion, riding with the brand champion program here. But then, and the other thing is too, I imagine you get some people. It's like, all right, I know you've owned that Silverado for about 5-6 years now. Looking to trade it up, we can get you a good deal on that. And so some folks might be sitting on a vehicle that they've had for a few years, but now it's time to say, hey, you know what, I can get you in payments that are about the same or a little lower and got you a brand new vehicle on there. And
we should get you to sell some cars.
Burnout program.
Yeah, I can talk, but I can't do actual paperwork and things. I have ideas. When it comes to actual logistics, they don't trust me with that. But so that's probably that's a lot. So imagine if there's a lot of folks listening, maybe even if you weren't thinking, hey, maybe it's I wasn't thinking about getting a new car, but it's sometimes it's not, when you get it is as important as what you get sometimes. And now's a pretty good time if you're looking for a new vehicle to come in. You're starting to see incentives and things that are more like they were pre-COVID than you were post-COVID here. So, which is a big deal. Things like 0%, you're like, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. And now you're kind of like, well, it's coming back.
Slowly.
The only thing we ask for is an opportunity. Just give us a shot if it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about the service after the sale. I know we always talk about the champion program, but I don't think we go into deep detail. Kind of talk a little bit about all of the, like once you buy a vehicle, and it doesn't matter if it's at the Dodge store, the GM store, the used car lot, wherever, if it's part of the Richland family, you're a part of the champion program. So kind of Malcolm, explain like what perks come with that.
So you get half off on your oil changes. We have like free rentals, like if they're available in service, if you need like warranty work or something.
Like if you got extended work on your vehicle and needs to be there more than a day or so.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We have a free shuttle, free towing, 45 miles out. The big one, the Powertrain for Life that we brought back, which is, that's hard to beat.
So if you're those people that like to drive a vehicle for 15 years into the ground, it's like, I'm just breaking in at 200,000.
Yeah.
This one will benefit you big time.
Yeah, and it covers engine, transmission, differential, transfer case. It covers like the meat of the vehicle, so it gives you more peace of mind knowing that.
Which is unheard of in your industry, especially for the length of time you do it. We do all that too for a month, for 6 months, for a year.
Or the first oil change is free, or first 3 or something like that. But that's a big one too, having the half off on the oil changes.
Absolutely.
That's very
you see
valuable.
The price of oil changes nowadays and
valuable
stuff.
For sure.
It's like, sure. What do y'all put in my car? Gold? Good Lord. It's like, kind of am at this day and age. Oil is gold.
Like even the little cars are like 100-something.
Oh yeah, it's like crazy. I only need 4 quarts or 3 quarts, but man. But and then cool, and then the other cool part is if you want to customize and stuff, it's discounts on parts and things. So if you want to come in and bring that Silverado in and upgrade with the running boards or lift on it or new wheels or whatever you want to customize it to, that your technicians can do all that stuff. So see, that's my move. Because I like that stuff, but I'm not a mechanic. You're not going to catch me pulling anything on for nothing. Yeah. If we do, world's in trouble. So I bring it on down to the rich. I'm a Jeep guy, so I go down to the Dodge store. But I go down there and let them take care of it, so I can look cool without actually having to be the guy in the driveway trying to figure out how to
put in the work.
Yeah, righty tighty lefty. What?
Yeah. that's another benefit of purchasing with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get us.
Yeah,
guys,
your technicians, your expertise. It does not matter if you're at the Dodge service department or the GM store service department. They're all highly qualified technicians. Put it this way, even especially for older guys like us that remember the days where cars were, nuts and bolts, and you can actually change your own oil and things like that. It's a different world nowadays for especially guys that grew up in that era. You know, now you literally need an engineering degree to work on a vehicle right now.
Yeah, you're not doing nothing past washing fluid.
Yeah, exactly. Just because of the computers and the amount of technology that are in today's vehicles, that mechanics, they were skilled technicians prior to this, but now even more so. They're even more in demand and more. So kids, if you're looking for careers, they got a pretty good program at the college at Crumlin, and they've had other groups that work with them and stuff. So please, they're all looking. You could write your own ticket. I'm sure both Richland stores, if you walk in with your certifications, they'd say we'd love to hire you right quick. So it's a good career field for young folks out there. And not to mention, if you know how to work on your own car, you're kind of like a unicorn. You know what I mean? Like if you could do it yourself in a world where no one could do anything themselves, you're a catch. Just saying.
Dying breed for sure. Yeah.
I got a customer like that.
Are you guys South Park fans? Have you ever watched South Park?
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Well, they got on Paramount Plus. They have these like mini movies now that they put out every couple months, and there's one called the Panderverse. Oh my goodness, I laughed so it's gonna trigger some people.
You're dying.
But I was like I will give you a hint. Like there's a scene in there where there's a bunch of like just dudes at the Home Depot, and then like a handyman drives by and they come running at him because no one can, like, I need you to fix my fence. I need you to fix my, and then nobody has that ability to do it anymore. So now they're at the Home Depot waiting for qualified people to come pick them up to work on their stuff. That's just a smidgen of that show. That made me laugh so hard. I was like, yeah. That's the world today in a nutshell. Everything's done flipped upside down. No one can do nothing.
Yeah, so. If anybody will say it, South Park will.
Yeah,
they'll definitely put it out there.
So,
they'll put it out there.
So that being said, come buy a car.
Yeah, do it. Come by, come see us.
What? But talk a little inventory. What's some of the stuff on the lot right now? Maybe some ones that you might want to get in sooner rather than later, because if you wait till next week, you may not be available anymore, because there's a few vehicles sitting on the lot like that.
We have some stuff, man. We have some Denali Ultimate still, I believe. ZR2s, I believe, still.
Some pre-owned Yukons?
Yeah, pre-owned Yukons. I mean, we have a selection, like things that everybody was begging for earlier in the year.
The ones that were harder to get.
Yeah, they're around. So,
well, are the two big sellers, and this is just probably in general, doesn't matter the make, model, brand, but SUVs and pickups, those are probably the two most things in demand, right?
We don't even really have many cars on the lot anymore.
Really? I just didn't know if it was just because of southeast New Mexico, but most people, it's like, I want something that, it's either pickup
bigger
or something I can haul 8 or 10 people in. And so that's usually, which I get the fuel efficient you want, which, by the way, you guys do have. If you're wanting something, it's like, no, I just need a vehicle for my kid for college, or I just need a around town grocery getter type vehicle. I don't need no big honking vehicle, just something that I can fill up a couple times a month and run my errands and what have you. So they got you covered on that too. But I would imagine like SUVs and stuff like that, do they get, especially if they're like new or really late model or really clean, I imagine they probably don't sit on the lot very long nowadays.
Pre-owned or new?
Either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
they move quick.
So come down, check out. But here's the good thing: the inventory's constantly updating and changing. So even if you missed out on one, the good news is it's being replenished way quicker and way faster than it was. See, that was the problem 2 years ago. We'd come in and it get gobbled up while they're backing it off the truck, literally. Yeah. And it's like, well, we're not going to see another one for a month here or whatever it is. Now it's. Now you're getting regular visits and regular deliveries, and it's starting to get a little closer. But I mean, it's not completely to the world. The supply and demand and the construction of these things is still behind schedule. But as far as getting product out to the world, it's way better than it was 2 years ago here. So now's a good time.
I've been getting a lot more people passing by, just seeing stuff on the lot.
Sure, just taking the perusal gander and everything.
Exactly. So. That's been stopping a lot of people, what we have on the lot.
Good deal. So come see it. Come by. Even if you're not, you're kind of on that fence or on the bubble, and or maybe you're just, it's time for that change. Or, it's nope. I got my cars. The 6-cylinder just kicked in. One of those moves. It's got time to limp it on into the dealership here, and let's get you fixed up. And
as long as it's drivable.
That's right. My dad, back when I was a kid, he had a Oldsmobile Cutlass station wagon. Oh, no, old man, not the cool Cutlass.
The Supreme.
Not the cool Cutlass.
The Cutlass Supreme.
No, not that one. This was a station wagon that was a former gas engine that they converted to diesel.
Oh, man.
It was amazing in the winter in Maryland.
Yeah, it was a beast.
Because other people's car, you plugged in, no one else's cars would start when they have, but that hunk of junk would. And it would start up, but he drove that thing into the ground, and that cylinder thing I was joking about, I don't know how many times we'd be driving down the highway, and it was an 8-cylinder. We'd be going, all of a sudden we'd be driving, he'd go, did you hear that? What? 8-cylinder just kicked in. I wish I was lying. I'm not. And he drove that car into the ground, but it was such a beat. But that to me was the epitome of the cars I remember growing up. Was my dad's Oldsmobile. Yeah. That thing, and we were in Boy Scouts and stuff, so he drove it all. I mean, we went to Canada with that thing. We drove like all over the place.
Yeah.
And he literally, I think that thing everything just fell off by the time.
Well, if that's what you remember about vehicles, you should see what we have now.
Yeah.
You should see what we have now.
You don't have an Oldsmobile Cutlass station wagon converted diesel engine?
They stepped it up.
But I come in, and that's the other thing too. If you're like wanting one, you see, I see all these cars, all these bells and whistles, and come on by. You'd be amazed at the technology in a 2023
Super
model.
Cruise, like we have Super Cruise on the Ultimates now.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what will drive for you. I mean,
yeah, that's
next level stuff.
Like what happened? Wasn't it the whole point of owning like a truck or something to get that truck vibe? And that's gone. I mean, it not in a good way. And what I mean by that is if you get a truck, and this is true for the last 10 years or so, but. Trucks are more luxurious than like Cadillacs now.
It's kind of cool to have a truck, like you're saying, rather than just buying a truck because you need to use a truck for the purpose of it. But like the purpose of a sports car, people are like looking at trucks like that now. I think.
Sure, yeah,
I mean?
because sports cars, let's face it, they turn heads and they get you dates and they're fun to drive. But they're kind of hard to do the chores in.
Yeah, and the truck will do the same thing. You can do all the chores and more.
That's right, and you can turn heads.
Exactly.
And
go off-roading. Do whatever you want to do.
You get the best of both worlds.
Doesn't limit you. Yeah.
So, which, by the way, if you have a truck like that, please do those things. It annoys me so much when I see a guy who's got a truck that's like 10 feet tall, barely fits in the lane. And that thing's clear and all get out. Ain't seen a speck of dirt anywhere.
You can't even use it when it's that tall.
Got slides all on the bottom, all over there.
You got that thing all jacked up to go to Walmart. Come on now. Let's do some stuff in this thing.
Telling you, those ZR2s we got.
Pretty cool.
Yep. That's the truck you need.
Good deal. They can get, but they're meant to get dirty. Please let them get dirty.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I get it. We're all like, no, it's too nice. Get it dirty. I get it. Yes. It's nicer than your house. I get it. Get it dirty. I get it. You want to live in it, but, get it dirty. That's the way the good Lord meant for this thing to be. So, if you're going to buy it, at least use it for that purpose.
Yeah, at least once. Something.
Bring out your inner child.
Yeah.
See, that's how 70-year-old men get their inner child back. We go and we drive over dirt and jump things. Yeah. This is what we do.
Yeah, you gotta relive it.
Absolutely. But again, if you're looking for a vehicle, service doesn't matter. The make or model, even either service department, the GM store or the Dodge store, they handle all makes and models. Mm-hmm. But word to the wise, if you got a GM product, bring it on over to the GM, and if you got a Dodge or Chrysler product or Ram, bring it on over to the Dodge store because. Let's face it, the Dodge guys know a little bit more about Dodges than the GM guys.
Just better. It's
just kind of how it works.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
They have the right tools over there.
You bring your Corvette over to the Dodge store, they're going to know a little bit more about it over at the GM store here, too. Speaking of that, do you get those from time to time? Like kind of your supercar, like your Corvettes, things that are kind of more toy vehicles versus a day-to-day type thing? Do they still come in from time to time?
Yeah, we actually had a Corvette in our showroom.
Good deal.
Right now. 2 days ago.
Because I think most people that
is gone.
I believe it's sold already.
Okay, because I'm thinking most people that want those, they probably come in and order them direct.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, is still a good way to order. Like that's that was kind of what the world of COVID kind of said. Hey, let's go and get baller status here a little bit, and then you pick your vehicle, pick the colors, pick the leather, pick the it's all you. You can still do that, and that's still a great way, especially if you're wanting a vehicle like a Corvette or something that they just don't have sitting on the lot every day. There's 30 of them right here. No, that's not usually the case. So, but even so, say you want a Tahoe or something, but you're like, I want it this color, I want it with these wheels, I want it with this interior, I want it with this engine and this tow package. Come on down and talk to any of the reps here. They'll be happy to sit down with you, and we'll get on the computer and have some fun and build you a vehicle.
Yeah, but the fact that we can actually get them now is a good thing, because I remember whenever we were first ordering vets, it took like a year to get them, and that was the second vet I think we've had this year, second or third.
So they're finally picking up at the plant there to
they're
work
actually
on
coming
it.
a little.
So you might get them quicker than 6-8 months.
You
now.
just might, depending on how you build it. So how crazy you get on it.
I got to ask this question too, because we are in the holiday season. Do you guys have like a room of big bows available if people need big bows for Christmas gifts? Because there's always one family that likes to give a gift of a car, and you want to do it the way it's in the driveway with the big giant bow on the roof there.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
We'll make that happen if we need to do it here. So we'll get the bow. Actually, we have a guy that works there. His name's Bo. He's going to sit on the
go get Bo.
Bo Johnson. He sits right here on the. I'm kidding. There's no guy named Bo that works there. It's like
that would be cool if there was. That'd be cool. We paid him both to the show.
Bo, need you on the roof. Good deal. Is there any information, Wiz, anything you guys wanted to share that we got sidetracked on, or I just kind of forgot to mention?
You guys want to?
Anything about incentives or deals or anything that we wanted to?
Yeah, we got some low incentives right now. I know right now the norm on the interest rates is a little higher than but we do have incentivized rates. We have 1.9 for 36 months on our.
That's how low. That's pretty low. That's lowest has been in a year or two at least.
Yeah. And we got them on our Silverados and also on our Buicks, on our Buick line.
Nice. Yeah. Which, by the way, Buicks, that always draws a certain status of people too. You're like you're a Buick. Buick's like, I like to live luxury, but I don't want to be in your face with it. You know what I'm saying? That's a Buick guy. It's like I like a little, but I don't want to be like showy.
Buicks are only getting better though.
Yeah. Well, Buicks they're always. My dad drove when he died, killed that Oldsmobile. He drove a Buick Buick Regal. Okay. Was it a Regal? No, Delta 88. Which one was it? There was a couple models in the late 80s. They all looked the same. There was like the Oldsmobile, the Buick,
had the same body
Delta. It was, and he had one of those, and it was a Buick, but I can't remember if it was the 88 or the Regals. May have been done by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry. They still make Regals.
Do they?
Oh, no, not anymore. Right?
Not anymore.
My first car was a 78 Buick Regal. Sky blue.
Dang.
Paid $50 for it.
Dang.
I when I was 16, I drove that sucker. It was late night, and I drove. It was raining and everything, and there was like a T intersection, and there was some woods on the other side. I blew through that stop sign, locked up the brakes, Dukes of Hazzard's little ditch, and jumped and hit about a foot diameter tree. With that, I won. The tree went down. If it was any car today, I would have lost. But that 78 Buick Regal, it cost me $75 to tow it out of the ditch and $300 for a new bumper at the junkyard.
Man.
And we drove it home.
Hey, you can't beat that.
Then I blew the engine about a year later, and that was all she wrote. But that car,
yeah, you're definitely not doing that today.
It was the tank. So don't sleep on Buicks. Dude. I have a lot of love for Buicks. They're a little soft spot in my heart for the Buicks. So. But, gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. And I'm sure
thank you for having us.
Got to get to work here. And who's in charge of breakfast? Is there?
I thought you were. That's
we got some McDonald's in there. Grab that. Take it in there and grab it. Yeah.
All right. Fork.
Yeah. I don't have any forks. Good thing with McDonald's food, it's all finger food.
Yep.
Unless you get the big breakfast. But even still, you can make that a finger food, too. Pancakes make great sandwich vessels.
You can make it work.
Have you ever done that where you got McDonald's big breakfast and just made it one big sandwich? It's like, I should just got a breakfast sandwich. But Maybe that's just me.
No.
I do weird things. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
you.
Anytime. It is 7:50. Let's pause for news, your Kim Commando update, Chaves County Sports Report, and commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. City of Artesia employees have received their $5,000 bonus just in time for Thanksgiving. Now, the Artesia City Council has scheduled a couple of public hearings to consider two ordinances to raise the salaries of the mayor, mayor pro tem, city council members, and municipal judge. The hearings will be held at the December 12th council meeting. Right now, the mayor makes $9,600 a year. That would jump to $25,000 a year. The mayor pro tem makes $8,400. That would be raised to $15,000. Council members who currently make $7,200 a year would be paid $12,500 annually, and the municipal judge salary would go from $44,000 to $65,000 per year. Other news, the Artesia Chamber of Commerce recently held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new local business. The Bar Buggy is a certified and insured mobile bar service that offers a variety of beverages, both alcohol and non-alcohol. Visit thebarbuggynm.com to book an event and to choose a package that suits your price point and special event needs. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Big Tech knows where you are anytime your smartphone is with you, and that's a fact we all accept. And if Big Tech knows, so does Big Government. And here's what's next. Governmental control over how fast you can drive, even in your own car. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free and find qualified candidates quickly at linkedin.com/Kim. It's called ISA, Intelligent Speed Assist. The Biden administration, through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, wants to force all automakers to incorporate ISA technology into every vehicle. Here's how it works. Your car's GPS already knows the speed limit for your exact location. Most newer cars warn you when you exceed the speed limit. ISA will limit your vehicle speed. With ISA, you simply cannot speed ever. All of this in the name of ending high-speed police chases and drunk drivers. And just like that, they say, all roads will be safer for everyone. Hey, enter to win a free iPhone 15 now at commando.com/Kim. Profiling, surveillance, data harvesting. There are lots of things not to like about tech giants. The good news is, it doesn't take much for you to take a stand. For less than $7 a month, you can join me and fight back against big tech by using ExpressVPN. Big tech makes its money by tracking and then selling your data, including your searches, video history, everything you click on. But ExpressVPN helps anonymize your online presence by hiding your IP address, a unique identifier that every device has that allows big tech to match your activity back to you. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices, so it's much more difficult for them to exploit my data for profit. It's so easy to use. I just open up the app and hit connect. That's all it takes to keep people out of my business. Get 3 extra months free on annual plans at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim for an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Kim.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low-pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight, and we'll dip into the upper 40s, and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover, and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70, and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances, and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell, or call 575-363-9236.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Walmart is saying U.S. consumers are acting more cautious as the holiday season gets underway, even as the largest U.S. retailer raised its forecast for sales and profit for the year. The number of Americans filing new claims for unemployment benefits increased to a 3-month high last week, suggesting that the labor market was gradually cooling in another boost to the Federal Reserve's fight against inflation. Subaru will raise the wages and benefits of its U.S. plant workers in light of the new labor deals finalized by the Detroit 3 automakers. The amount of the raise for the workers at the company's assembly plant in Lafayette, Indiana, is yet to be determined, but will be in line with the industry levels following the United Auto Workers' new labor deals with General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler parent Stellantis. Gasoline prices are on the downward trend, with 11 states now averaging below $3 a gallon. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances, and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell, or call 575-363-9236.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:58. Stay tuned next hour. About 8:15 or so, we're going to have the folks. Actually, we're going to have Bill Williams, Chavis County Manager, join us. Give us an update on what's going on in the county and talk about what happened at their last commission meeting and all of that good stuff. Hey, don't forget that happening today and tomorrow is the big Holiday Magic Arts and Crafts Show. It is, I always say, it's officially the holiday season once the Holiday Magic Show happens here in Roswell, and it is this weekend. Going on today and tomorrow at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Going to be 2 full action-packed days. Doors open at 10:30 this morning and will remain open until 6 p.m. this evening. And then tomorrow they'll open doors at 9 a.m. and then remain open until 5 p.m. tomorrow. Admission into this year's Holiday Magic Arts and Crafts Show is $3. And children under 12 are free. Now, let me tell you, that $3 admission, that admission fee you're paying to get in goes all to local charities. That $3 admission, that money is a fundraising event. They use all of that $3 admission fee. They go to various organizations, including the Assurance Home, the First Tee of Southeastern New Mexico, Christian Outreach Ministries, and Roswell's local high schools as well. So all of them benefit. So I would even argue if you can pay a little more than $3, pay a little more than $3. But don't spend all your money so you don't have any money to go buy crafts and stuff, because there's so much of that. But Don't balk at the $3 because it's all for the community. All right, it is closing in on 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Israel's military releasing video of weapons stockpiles. It says its troops found in a Gaza hospital used by Hamas as a terrorist base. A search of the compound also led to the discovery of the bodies of 2 hostages, a 19-year-old Israeli soldier and a 65-year-old civilian. The dire humanitarian situation in Gaza continues to deteriorate. Now, 8 agencies have had to suspend deliveries of supplies meant for civilians.
For the first time in the war, this week Israel allowed a small amount of fuel into Gaza for UN vehicles, but not for telecoms firms, hospitals or water and sewage pumping. UN officials warn they can't work.
If the fuel does not come in, people will start to die because of the lack of fuel. Now, exactly as from when, I don't know, but it will be rather soon than later.
And the UN says that from today, no humanitarian aid will be able to enter Gaza from the Rafah crossing because of the lack of fuel.
The BBC's Yolanda Nell. 3 of the top 4 Republican presidential candidates will be on hand today at a Christian-sponsored event in Iowa.
It's called the Thanksgiving Family Forum, and it's sponsored by The Family Leader, an influential Christian organization. Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, and Vivek Ramaswamy will participate in this afternoon's Des Moines, Iowa event. It's billed as a friendly and open discussion about the issues most important to evangelical Christians. Donald Trump was invited, but is not expected to attend. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The suspect is among the 4 people dead following a shooting in a mobile home park in Mentor, Ohio. It's about 20 miles east of Cleveland. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 13 points, the NASDAQ 25 points in the red, and the S&P is down 2. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The southern Philippines rattled by a powerful earthquake.
People hide under tables in a restaurant area in a mall as the quake shakes General Santos City. They shout and scream in alarm as ceiling panels shake and flex, with some of the panels falling down. However, there are no immediate reports of serious damage or injuries and no tsunami warning in effect so far. The U.S. Geological Survey says the quake measured magnitude 6.7 and was located 16 miles from Burias at the southern tip of the Philippines. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Rescue crews drilling deeper into the rubble of a collapsed road tunnel in northern India. They're installing wide pipes designed to allow 40 workers trapped underground for a 6th day to crawl to freedom. A heavy-duty drilling machine has covered a stretch of about 78 feet so far. May require up to 195 feet to free the workers. Townhall.com. Some parts of the country seeing a sharp rise in RSV infections.
RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, is a common cause of mild cold-like symptoms. It can be dangerous for the young, infants, and the old. The CDC says RSV cases are nearly filling emergency rooms in Georgia, Texas, and other states. At Cook County Medical Center in Fort Worth, Texas, doctors say kids are sicker than they've been in previous years, with more in need of oxygen. The Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Hospital system is in surge mode. The CDC is releasing more doses of a new RSV shot for newborns. It also says virus cases are already peaking in some states and overall are only half as high as they were 1 year ago. I'm Ed Donahue.
There will be no partial government shutdown at midnight. President Biden has signed the short-term spending bill. Keep the government going into the new year. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce a la carte.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to it. So glad you made it. And you're happy that next week's going to be a short week. You're thinking, holiday week. Some will be traveling this weekend. Or maybe later now that the school, especially Wednesday's going to get really hairy for travel because especially since many families will have kids in school Monday and Tuesday of next week here. So, but I know some of you kids don't do it. I know some parents blow that off. You shouldn't. Especially some of you kids really need to be in school. I've seen you work. But anyway, happy Friday. Happy leading into our Thanksgiving week here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Got to take a moment to thank the fine folks of McDonald's for sponsoring our show each and every Friday morning. They provide us with delicious McDonald's breakfast treats. I know the cool new sauces, the Mambo sauce and the sweet and spicy sauce. Those I think they're wrapping those up, but still people are trying to procure one. If you get your hands on one, hold on, they're gold. They're good. They're tasty too. I hope they make them permanent. At least the Mambo sauce is good. I like it, but it's strictly a lunch thing. Like it's not meant for the breakfast. But that sweet and spicy jam, they need to make that. They just need to keep that permanently in the McDonald's staple because I love McDonald's breakfast. Very delicious. But it makes almost every single breakfast item that McDonald's has. Almost every. I'm trying to think of one that it wouldn't, and you know what? Maybe the big breakfast, but then again, throw some sweet and spicy jam on your pancakes and then some syrup. I bet it's delicious. So maybe I'm wrong there too. But literally every single McDonald's breakfast item goes up 2 cool points when you put that sweet and spicy jam. It doesn't matter if it's the hash browns and I'm telling you, I've always been the jelly. I'm a grape jelly, but jelly guy on breakfast sandwiches. That's my, you want delicious heaven? Get you a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich or sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich and put some grape jelly on it. I don't care what the bread is, McGriddles or McMuffins or biscuit, whatever. It's a 10 with jelly on it. And if you can procure the sweet and spicy jam, it's an 11. But it is a 10 with the grape. For me, grape. Some prefer strawberry. You do you. I don't have but when it comes in the world of jelly, I'm team grape. When it comes to peanut butter and jelly, I go grape all the time. So, but that's me. I know I'm not I'm not necessarily in the majority on that one. I know, matter of fact, I'm thinking more people like strawberry than grape jelly. I don't understand these people, but I know you exist. Anyway, my point is, big thank you to McDonald's for sponsoring the show. Drive-through, carry out, dine in, doesn't matter. Utilize that app. It will help you if you don't have a lot of time. You can order through the app, go through the drive-through. You give them a 4-digit code. You can pay through the app, and you literally drive through the drive-through, give them the code, whip on through. They give you your food, and you're out the door while people are still waiting. It is a very convenient tool. Awesome. Love it. And I always recommend, especially if you got the family and you got the kids, and then you go through the drive-through and everyone's yelling at the screen, I want the Happy Meal, but with the nuggets and the apples. You know, everyone's wanting their thing, and you as a parent are ready to throw something out the window. Avoid all that. Go home, do the app. They can pick and choose and everything else. By the time you get there at the drive-thru, you just give them the 4-digit code. You don't have the 20 minutes of, I want this, and roll down the back window so they can yell what they want, and all that mess goes away. It'll save you that headache. And I know so many of you would appreciate that. So download the app. It is your friend. And if you could procure the sweet and spicy jam, do so. If you have not tried it yet, highly recommend it. All right. It is 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. And then here in just a few minutes, we'll be joined in studio by Chaves County Manager Bill Williams. He'll give us a rundown on what's going on around Chaves County, give us some highlights from the last county commission meeting. Then later on in the hour, we'll try to get you up to date with news, your Cowboys report, and all of that good stuff. But before we do any of that, let's take a look at your weather. We're in store for nice weather for the next few days. Monday and Tuesday next week's going to cool down a bit, but then gets a little bit more mild for your Thanksgiving. So there's your weather. Now I'll actually do the weather so they can tell you the same thing.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low-pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight, and we'll dip into the upper 40s, and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover, and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70, and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
That's sad. Thank you, Steve. Oh, you missed that part. Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees and overcast here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 12 miles per hour. Turning out pretty nice today. Partly cloudy skies, a high of 71. That's nothing to complain about there. Winds out of the north 5 to 10. Nothing to complain about there. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 49 degrees, so still pretty warm overnight. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday looking pretty nice as well. Partly cloudy. Highs right around 70 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Overnight low of 46. South winds at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. For your Sunday, sunny skies and a high of 73. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies Sunday night with an overnight low of 43. Monday and Tuesday, a little bit cooler. There actually is a slight chance of some rain showers, a 20% chance for rain on Monday afternoon. Cooler, mostly sunny, high of only 58. For Monday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 37. Tuesday of next week, sunny and 59. And then it starts warming up as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Your Thanksgiving Eve on Wednesday will be mid-60s, 64. Sunny and 65 for Thanksgiving Day. So Monday, Tuesday, a little bit chillier, but then it actually gets a little nicer. So when that one time a year where y'all get around and throw the pigskin out in the backyard after your 80 pounds of turkey, weather should be just fine for that. So don't beat up your uncle. All right. It is 8:14. Before we take a quick commercial break here, I do want to take this opportunity to talk about what's happening at Big O Tires. Big O Tires' biggest Black Friday sale is here right now. For a limited time, you can get unbeatable savings on the brands you know and trust like Michelin, Pirelli, Nitto, Toyo, and more. Big O Tires is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs as well, too. You think of them for tires, they got you covered there, but they also can take care of your vehicle. Oil changes, alignments, brakes, batteries, shocks and struts, AC tune-ups, fluid flushes, and much more. Big O Tires, they want to make sure you're safe on the road, especially during this holiday season when you're traveling. A lot of you going to be hitting the roads next week. That's why at Big O Tires, they offer a free multi-point inspection on every single vehicle. Plus, free convenient shuttle and drop-off service and pickup, too. They really are going out of the way to help you out. And if you're thinking, well, I'm a little strapped on cash, well, they've got new 12-month interest-free financing available on eligible purchases, too. So if you do need the set of tires, but you're like, well, I got to buy Christmas gifts. I get you. Maybe the tires will be Christmas gifts. Some people would like that. Some wouldn't. But either way, they can offer up some financing for you there as well, too. Big O Tires is your locally owned and operated right here in Roswell. Visit bigotires.com to schedule an appointment or stop by Big O Tires right here in Roswell today. Big O Tires, the team you trust. All right, it is 8:15. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Chaves County Manager Bill Williams will join us. Don't go away.
Check out the Thanksgiving specials you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Assorted Food Club whipped toppings are 88 cents each, and assorted Kraft mayos are $4.48 each. In produce, fresh green beans are $1.29 a pound, and 3-pound bags of sweet potatoes are just $1. In the meat department, Cook's shank portion bone-in hams are $1.67 a pound, and grade A honeysuckle white turkeys with pop-up timers are 99 cents a pound. Limit 1. These are just some of the Thanksgiving specials you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids, taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances, and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell, or call 575-363-9236.
Gobble up the savings. The November to Remember sales event is on at Roswell Honda. 6 days of some of the biggest rebates and discounts, plus a free prize with every purchase, with awesome gifts, including turkeys, pies, gift cards, a fire pit, a turkey carving set, air fryer, and so much more. Get vouchers for a free pie just for stopping by, a turkey with a qualified test drive, and while you're there, register to win a $400 Visa gift card to be given away Saturday, November 18th at 1 p.m. The November to Remember sales event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am well.
Good.
A little cool this morning. Not freezing, but cool.
Well, it is November, so it's it is to be expected. I love when people complain. I'm like,
time. The leaves haven't even fallen off the trees.
Yeah, some got blown off, and so depending on what neighborhood you're in, some got blown off. Some are still fighting to hang on there. And
what's been odd is we've had fog and this moisture in the air. It's something that's pretty unusual.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands yesterday. Like, it was early in the week. They're saying, it's going to be foggy till like 3 o'clock. I'm like, where are we, in England? 3 o'clock fog in New Mexico? This is starting to feel like some Ghostbuster stuff here. What's going on? Yeah. But it has been odd. But and to be honest, I think next week might feel a little different too for a couple days there too.
Yeah.
But But it's still good turkey eating weather.
Like you said, it'll be good to go throw the pigskin around.
Exactly here. So I'm guessing, is it county been real busy and now getting ready to kind of take the holiday break here and slow down a little bit?
We've been busy, and the November meeting's not real exciting. The December meeting and January meeting, however, we have a lot of housekeeping we have to do that has to happen.
So November's like the calm before the storm kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going pretty smoothly, and we're working towards the next year. But we had the legislators come 2 weeks ago, I think, for legislative capital outlay. They came to our area and listened to the city of Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur County, and we all did our presentations and told them the projects we had that we'd be asking for money for. As a part of that, though, we had our Hubert Quintana Day, because Hubert was such a big part of the legislative capital outlay for our communities. It was an opportunity for his peers basically to come together. We're all there together.
I was they were going to be here anyway. Let's kill two birds.
And so we were able to read his proclamation and give him the attention that he deserved as someone who spent his life helping us all to better our communities.
In a very appropriate time to do it, where it all kind of the planets
really
aligned.
So we had to do that. And of course, before we can do that, we have to have our ICIP. That's the stuff that's coming up early next year.
Yeah.
So we have to get all our ducks in a row there, and then do get everything figured out, prioritized, and then we do our presentations in November usually. And
so is this kind of like where you show the legislators, these are the projects we really want you to fight for us at this this next legislative session?
If you can help us in any way
when they're
with funding,
doling out the capital outlay dollars, please stress the importance of these projects to them. So
and it was a really good turnout, and it was a really good meeting, because it became real clear that there's so much communication and cooperation between all of our communities and counties, and everybody's working together to support everyone else. No one's creating problems for anyone else. They're all just, hey, we're encouraged for your project as much as you're encouraged for ours.
Sure.
It's kind of a neat thing when that happens.
Well, we all benefit when as a county, when these projects get done. So we want to see them all get done. That's the point.
And of course, we always appreciate the legislators taking time out of their schedules to come and do this.
Yeah, come and see what they've got. They've got a lot on their plates already, and do have to do their day jobs and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so. Unlike the people who represent us in Washington, who get paid buku bucks.
Yes.
Our local legislators do this
free. Yeah, exactly. Because when they're not, representing you, they're lawyers and farmers and ranchers and doing their professions.
Right. So that goes a long way. Kind of speaking about legislature and stuff, we had 2 meetings this month. We had one on November the 7th, I believe it was. It was a special meeting of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners, and the reason for that meeting was for people who were interested in putting their name in the hat to be chosen as a nominee to replace Stuart Engel in Senate seat number 27.
Yes, we talked a little bit about this last month
and we had other counties, come in and meet with us, and we met with other counties, and all 5 counties tried very, very hard to make sure that we got the word out, and we got some really good, viable candidates to put their name in the hat. It was a difficult decision for all of the commissions, all 5. We had 4 very qualified candidates. We had, let me see if I can remember everybody's name, Travis Glenn from Tatum, school board member, board member on the junior college, and many other community efforts over the years. He's a very good, very qualified candidate.
Good deal.
And his name was actually put forth yesterday by Lee County.
Okay.
So that's their choice in Lee County.
And the idea kind of sort of is trying to get all the counties to submit the same name to give the governor really not an option to put anybody they want. It's like, this is who we said, so be it. That's the name.
Well, all of our counties are unique, and even though we all are rowing the same direction, wanting the same things,
right?
There are differences of opinion. I mean, we've got 5 commissioners in Chaves County.
Sure.
We've got 5 in Lee, 5 in Roosevelt. I think all the counties. Curry had 5. I'm not sure how many are in DeBaca. There may only be 3 commissioners in DeBaca. So you see, there's quite a few people who are.
But if they can come to a consensus, then it kind of makes it's sure that we really get the person we want in that position.
And like I say, what made it difficult for them is there were 4 very good candidates, so they all had to
all were worthy of the post. Yeah.
So State Representative Greg Nybert, he received nomination from 3 counties, from DeBaca, from Chavis, and from Curry County. Roosevelt County, they put forth the name of Pat Boone, not the singer. The
I don't know. Could that give us that name? Give us a little draw, maybe.
and then Larry Marker also had his name in there.
Okay.
So
of course, he's run for various offices.
And so there was a lot for them to take into account and to decide who is best in their eyes for the position.
Sure.
At our meeting, we had the persons who were interested come and introduce themselves,
do their pitch, basically. Yeah,
exactly. Just give a pitch. There was no, real question. Everyone had an opportunity to ask questions.
It wasn't like a press conference. It was just here's the package. Let me present you the package.
They did. They presented their paperwork ahead of time, and of course, we had to verify that all of them were viable candidates.
Sure.
You can't put me in there because I'm in the wrong district.
Sure.
For instance.
Yeah, make sure
and that would be a horrible choice.
They meet the bare minimum qualifications of the position. Yeah.
So we did that, and then they gave their pitch. And the reason we did that is, like I say, all the counties have been working together to assure that we did our due diligence to make sure we got people.
We're trying to do a united front here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in Clovis and in Portales, the Curry County and Roosevelt County, their meeting was last Tuesday. So that would be, what's today, the 17th? So it'd be the 14th. Tuesday the 14th, they had their meeting. So Curry County, they had it early in their agenda. They're just a few miles apart, fortunately. So they had the decision early in their agenda, and at their meetings, the person came and gave their talk at the meeting, and then they discussed it and voted on it right there. Of course, they had previous paperwork turned in. And
the legwork that was done beforehand.
But the individual contact was done that morning, and then they voted at the same time. Then late in the morning, because both meetings start at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning, late on the agenda, Portales
hit the streets and head on to the other meeting.
Exactly. So they did a real quick.
I'd love to stay, but I got to go.
And then hop in the vehicle and drive south and go to Portales. So that's how they did it in Roosevelt and Curry County. And then yesterday was Chavis County and Lee County's meeting at the same time. That's why we had our event a couple of weeks prior, so that we could digest what was said and really look into.
So when it does get fast and furious, you can do it educated instead of just flying by the seat of your pants.
And Lee County, then those same people were in Lee County yesterday, saying what they
doing
needed
their
to
pitch
say,
and
then they voted at the same time. So that's kind of how we did it, to assure that everyone got as much opportunity.
People wants to hear who has to say what there is. They want to get a chance to do it, and there's
of course,
a chance.
DeBaca, the way that their commission meeting fell, they were able to approve it last month. They did it well before.
So they got it knocked out,
they got it knocked out. And the rest of us were still scrambling on how are we going to get this done.
All right, Mister, getting on. Don't be. They did well in school. We know we did. They were the ones always turning their assignments in early.
So now it's all been forwarded to the governor. The governor will have to make her choice, and then we'll see what happens after that. So, but anyway, there are 3 names that were put forward to the governor for.
And now, is the rule she has to pick one of those 3, or can she go rogue and pick her own name?
No, she has to pick one of the names that were put forth by the county.
She doesn't have that
but
choice.
She doesn't. It could be any of the names.
Gotcha.
So, it doesn't matter that one has.
But because of the vetting done, we would probably be happy with any one of those 3 names.
And like I say, I know that because I saw the resumes and met each of the people, and of course knew all the people anyway. But they're all great candidates. So,
Good.
So whoever she chooses, it's going to be
it's a win-win for Southeast New Mexico.
Right.
Good.
And we had the same thing a couple of months ago with Gay Kernan's seat. Senator Kernan resigned, and the governor. There were 2 names put forward by 3 counties. And she picked Stephen McCutcheon. Sorry, yes. I was so close. Stephen McCutcheon, and so he's already stepped into that role. I met him at a meeting we had over in Hobbs a couple of weeks ago. So he's out,
Doing the job.
Doing the job, exactly. Yeah. So it was really good to see him. He's a former Eddy County commissioner. He served a term in Eddy County as a county commissioner, and his name was put forward by Eddy County, and that's who was chosen for that seat.
And people that have lived in this area for any part of time just know that because of the way this state is and how this is how you do it to keep what little conservative voices and representation we have, because there's so little of it in the state compared to the people of which, actually are conservative here that represent that this is how they slowly erode that voice of conservative in there, one little at a time. I don't care what anybody says, that redistricting and stuff like that. If there wasn't anything other than that, you're lying. But so this is why we have to be stringent on this stuff. That's why you guys went through this whole rigmarole of lining up the county's meetings and trying to get it so everybody, because if we don't and you just leave it to them, what's going to happen next, and we will not get proper representation.
We are all very fortunate to live in southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah.
All of us are pretty like-minded. We're all have the same family values. Agriculture is a big part of our lives. And, we just want our communities to
need those voices in Santa Fe to defend it.
So, a couple of other things we did yesterday. We had, because we just had the election, of course, we also canvassed the election yesterday, and that
make it official.
Yeah, exactly. And there were no real surprises there. It was a small local election. We only had 17% voter turnout, however.
Which really bugs me.
And I understand it's a small election. You're not deciding national issues, but we should all get in the we should figure out how to get there every time the doors are open.
Folks, I always say this every time. These are the elections that impact your life. I'm not saying a presidential election's not important, because it is very important. However, what the president's doing is not going to impact your day-to-day life as much as a city councilor or a county commissioner or someone serving at that, or school board member.
Yeah, and the bond issues.
These are very, very important. So. We should have more turnout, not less than the presidential election, in my opinion. So
they canvassed the election. There were no issues.
Everything was good.
Everything was very smooth, and that worked really well. We also read a proclamation, Election Workers Day. We made yesterday Election Workers Day, and we had a good turnout of people who
we're very
the
thankful
election.
Those folks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, talking about legislators working for free. These people devote a lot of time for very little
and
return.
Especially since we started early voting and having the voting convenience centers and things like this. Not only is it increased the need for more workers, but it increases the time in which they are needed.
It's not like the old days where Tuesday's the vote, so Wednesday we're going to give you training. Tuesday we're going to put you out where
now
you
got a month of that. You know exactly.
And these people are all very dedicated. They've got a smile on their face every day.
They're very
really
thankful.
Good.
Please thank them, but be nice too. Like if the computer's not working or because that stuff happens at every one of these. They're temporary little offices, and you know what happens when something's temporary. It sometimes will not work because the internet don't want a thing, or some software said I'm not going to work right now, and it's just be patient. I mean, we're a little late in the game for now, but for next time, please, those folks are salt of the earth and just here wanting to make their community better, and we salute and thank each and every one of them. It's a job that they get yelled at a lot because it's just the nature of what the job is, and people don't like things. If things aren't perfect the way they like it,
you blame the person who's handing you your ballot to change things. You blame them for the person that's in office.
And quite frankly,
they have nothing to do with that. They're just trying to make sure that everybody's voice is heard.
Absolutely, and this is me saying it, so don't get all mad at Bill here. But quite frankly, not all of you, but most of you are big crybabies. Humanity as large is a big batch of crybabies, and if they don't get things perfectly done their way, they cry like babies, and so they see it all at that thing. So please put your baby mindset away in your pocket when you go vote, and thank for these people that are doing nothing but help you.
Keep in mind, 17% is not a great turnout even for a local election. So
that's
everybody
horrifying.
Come out and vote. I mean,
quite frankly, you should also be ashamed of
yourselves. We all have to get our voices heard.
Quite frankly, I'm ashamed of you. If you care that little to not come and vote on this day when you have a month to do it and do all of that stuff, quite frankly, I got no time for you. And your opinion matters zero to me. So until you vote, shut your hole and go cry baby in the corner.
Boy.
I'm that passionate about it.
I'm just so thankful that you're holding back and not letting them know what you really feel.
It's just, it's ridiculous, and everyone wants to blame this and that. No, it's on you. If you didn't vote, you're an idiot. You're a straight-up idiot, and I'll tell it to your face.
So we also were honored yesterday to give our certificate of appreciation to the Chaves County Fair Queen. We do that every year.
Awesome.
The Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply provides a crown and belt buckle, and so Desi came over with the crown, and she presented the crown to him. The commission, we told everyone about Aubrey Prince, as I think I forgot to mention her name. That's pretty important to let you know that it's Aubrey. Aubrey's a nice young lady. She's going to do very well as the fair queen for the coming year.
Nice.
We were able to present her with a certificate. She got her crown and her belt buckle and her photo with Desiree and with the commissioners, and we're looking forward to it. We also had a young man by the name of, Bradley Pierce, I believe is his last name. I'm not sure that the last name's right. We purchased his hog at the fair, and I apologize that I'm not remembering the last name. Bradley, we thank you for bringing, he brought gifts for all the county commissioners.
Oh, how nice.
They have an ongoing thing, and they chip in and purchase the animals at the fair every year. And young man came and shook hands with them all, told them thank you, and
love that.
And he did a great job.
That's what I love in the world, because that young man he understands he worked hard for that animal and earned that money.
Oh my gosh, working with a show animal is
absolutely
is something.
And he earned every dime of that. But the fact that he shows that appreciation, shows the humbleness to say, hey, thank you for supporting me and going back. That's a lost art we're losing in this world today, and it's so great to see that.
When I was a kid, I didn't want to put in the work to show animals. I mean, I raised hogs. I had about 120 feeder pigs that I took care of, but I had no desire to show them. That's too much work. and feeding your pigs a couple times a day and your cows and everything else that we had, that wasn't an easy job either. But compared to showing, I mean, you not only have to do your chores, but then you have to go out in the pen with your pig, and you have to clean your pig. You have to do this.
They got to look good doing it. They got to do all the pig stuff, and then look good doing it. Yeah.
Or your lamb, or whatever the case is,
or your 800-pound steer, or whatever it is.
It's just amazing the work that the kids put in, and they learn so much. And like I say, they do that in addition to their usual chores at home. And say I was a little less concerned about showing, a little more concerned about I want to feed and go home and sit, So.
Well, maybe the showing it helps earn the money for the next. But I just love the fact that kid was raised right, and the fact that showing the appreciation and he's also learning the real value of hard work and seeing the fruits of that labor of hard work. That's why when the commissioners and when people bid so generously, you're really solidifying the lessons being taught to these young men and women that show these animals and things like that. And
they're our future, and I mean we're all in as far as supporting them.
To me, it's the foundation of Southeast New Mexico is that fair stuff. So
okay, so moving on, because I don't have a whole lot here, but I know that you and I get to talking and kind of get off subject sometimes, just a little bit.
You get me triggered. Next thing you know, I'm calling everybody idiots. So.
So we approved the agreement between State of New Mexico Economic Development Department, Main Street, Roswell, and Chaves County.
Okay.
So several years ago, Chaves County had essentially a park on their ICIP. It's called Cultural Plaza.
Okay.
And the idea is a lot of the events that take place on the courthouse lawn could be moved to this place and kind of protect the lawn and the courthouse. It would also be available for other events, maybe a little stage. It's not designed yet, but I mean, that's kind of the idea and the concept.
Gotcha.
And along with that, because City of Roswell, when they have large events, they don't have any downtown bathrooms. That puts a lot of pressure on the local businesses. You want to be nice, but then again, you can't just
you can't let a crowd of 1,000 people in there to go use a toilet.
And so that was a big part of it. Is we wanted downtown bathrooms that could be utilized in large events like this, And so we have what we call the Cultural Plaza. It'd be right on the railroad tracks, behind the parking lot at the courthouse on Virginia Street. There's a big vacant lot there.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, when the train goes by, if you're having an event that's pretty earth-shattering in many ways.
Depends on your event.
We thought some large walls like they have on the interstates, to
block
block
noise
the sound.
and- yeah.
It'll never stop the sound of the train. But on
Sure.
three sides, maybe a tall wall by the railroad track and tapering down the sides. And
It'll
then
divert the sound to a different direction other than the venue
Yeah.
of which people are
It won't
hanging
knock
out
you
in.
down,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
might-
those barriers are designed to kind of send it the other way and not
kind of bounce it a different direction.
Yeah.
And so, and a set of bathrooms, of course, a good set of community bathrooms,
Sure.
and then a fence where it can be closed off because we don't want activities going on there, all hours of day and night. They need to be safe.
So it'd be
and
strictly
open
used for events, not necessarily a park for the public to do.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It would be
It's
utilized.
an event
Kinda-
space, not a community park to
Yeah.
hang out and play frisbee or anything.
Although it can kind of have a dual role, it just depends on what the situation is.
Sure.
But it would not be a 24-hour day park.
It's kind of designed to be the festival location. So if you want to do like Chili Cheese Festival, things like that, it would be a better facilitated area to do that kind of stuff.
For portions of it, yeah. And maybe farmers market, portions of that would be good in there.
Gotcha.
So anyway, we're just kind of looking to the future and had been for a while for that. Well, as it turns out, Main Street Roswell and the city of Roswell had been working together on having a community park, a similar kind of thing that would provide bathrooms and that. So the money had already been funded to the city of Roswell, and they decided about a year ago, they came to us and said, would you be interested in building a park? Do you have anything? I said, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, we kind of have this thing on our books already.
Yeah.
And they said, well, here's the deal. We have a location that's, in hindsight, we're thinking maybe it's not as good a location as we thought. It's not as accessible as we'd like, whatever the reasons were. And they said, would you guys be willing to put forth this? Sure, if it works with the city.
So kind of pulled the resources on this one a little bit.
And so we've met with the city, and they gave up the fiscal agent responsibility and
let the county take over.
Let the county. However, we're all working on it. So
Sure.
it'll be City of Roswell, it'll be Main Street Roswell, it'll be Chaves County. We're all going to work together.
But is it all being kind of funneled through the counties?
Yeah, because somebody has to be the fiscal agent, and because
so-
it's our property, it'll go that way. But what it is we're all working together to develop something that'll help.
All three entities have an equal voice in what's going in
exactly.
there. But the county is the basically lead agent as far as
So we're all going to
all
work
the paperwork
on it
goes to us
and make sure it benefits our community.
Yes.
We're just coordinating and cooperating as best as we can on everything, and that's just an example of one of the things we're doing. So we approved, or the county commission approved the contract for that.
Excellent.
And they brought $2.1 million forward for that, Main Street Roswell. They
Great.
did all the legwork, got the grants and everything. Of course, now we'll have to do all the reporting as the county, as the fiscal agent.
Well,
but they brought the money into it. We'll work with them, work with the city. Get
And
the
at the end of the
design
day, I think the biggest economic impact will be to the Main Street district. They're those mom and pop businesses. They're the ones that are going to see the biggest benefit from this. So it kind of makes sense that Main Street's kind of
And that was our
spearheading.
intent with the Cultural Plaza for downtown events.
Mhm.
That's what its role was.
Absolutely.
Main Street's role is to help downtown. The city of Roswell, of course,
Absolutely,
wants to help downtown and bring in tourism. So it's a win-win.
So it kind of makes sense that
situation.
they kind of have done a lot of the funding raising and all this because at the end of the day, probably the biggest impact that people see from it will be those Main Street businesses and corridors.
And we're really excited to be a part of that and to get the opportunity to help develop some stuff that'll be here for years.
Absolutely.
This will be something that'll benefit.
Well,
our
and hopefully
community.
this creates new traditions, the new, Roswell traditions. We have, these various festivals and things, but maybe this adds to that or creates a new thing. Maybe this adds a whole nother facet to the UFO festival now that we have this really designated party area. You know what I mean?
It could, yeah. And it definitely, can kind of change a lot of the different things. There's a big parking lot there, so it can kind of help shape and move people around.
And it could be a spillover for other events too that maybe, that's, it's not conducive to do it in there, but there on the courthouse lawn, this can kind of carry over the spillover from that and everything else.
And we're thinking too, and of course it's not designed yet, so this is just Bill.
Yeah,
talking.
this is conceptual
But
phase.
we're thinking conceptually that it could have little raised area maybe for a stage with some built-in lighting and of course the electricity.
So people can plug and go.
You can have a little band. That's one of the issues we have when someone wants to do a musical event at the courthouse. We turn the power off to the receptacles that are out in front of the courthouse up next to the building, because we don't want whatever plugged in there and that
overheat
could create problems at many levels. So when someone's going to do an event, we make sure that we turn the power onto those plugs so they can plug in their amplifier.
Sure.
And so some of those things will be alleviated by having it there in the back and having a special area that would help them with
well,
that.
and even if they can get more, because even still, like you said, like during UFO Fest and they still have to truck in a bunch of power units and things to meet everybody's needs.
Well, and
maybe this will alleviate a little.
A lot of events have speakers, and they need kind of a dais. So, so by having a little stage area, or if someone wanted to do a little play or something, they could utilize it for that.
Yeah,
it's not an amphitheater, but still an open area with covered.
But even still, I think if you
seating.
made it so that it's for small stuff, but if you needed to bring in the big stuff to make it for a more bigger thing, then it's got the ability to do that.
Right.
If that but then at the same time, if it's just a community little theater saying we're going to do a little play here, we don't need all that. We can just plug in here and run lights and sound or whatever we need.
I think the opportunities are pretty huge there.
Yeah.
We just have to sit down and discuss what's going to benefit everyone.
Absolutely. I like the concept here, and I can't wait to see what the three entities kind of put their heads together and see what they come up with as far as. So I'm guessing here maybe within 6-8 months we might start seeing some maybe designs and things.
I would think the design will happen fairly quick. I mean they do have a basic design, but of course you change sites and that creates all kinds of civil engineering
right
issues.
Yeah, they kind of go back to the drawing board.
But they can take, here's a basic block, now let's move it over here. Okay, this will work, that won't work, this will work, oh, they want that, and they and so we'll have to do some changes, but I think the design should go fairly quickly. And then construction, fortunately it's in a spot where it's not going to impact day-to-day operations of the courthouse, and minor inconveniences maybe from time to time, but I think the construction will go pretty quickly, and so I hope that maybe this time next year, I don't know, it may be a little too quick for government work, but maybe this time next year or year and a half, we'll be talking about the new facility that our community has. So
whatever park or whatever we call it at the end there. So I like that. I think that's a great thing, and I think it will go a lot to bringing more revenue and more opportunity for downtown here in this district here. So that's a good thing, and it's great to see that we've got not one, not two, but three entities working together to make that happen. That really helps to cement that it's going to happen when you got that much involved. So.
And our community's doing that on multiple levels. We're all working with the Reno Air Racing Association, trying to see if they would consider having
we got some visits coming up here
races.
that are being very important
on
in
the
that.
27th, and they're going to be around. I've ordered a big banner to go on top of my barn, so when they fly over, I happen to be right in the flight line there. They can read "Welcome to Roswell"
there you go.
on top of my barn. It's kind of a Green Acres kind of thing,
There you go. I like it.
Right it there. So, but we've got city, county, other counties, the local economic development, Chamber of Commerce. All of us are working diligently on that. Keep Chaves County Beautiful is bending over backwards trying to clean up some of the areas that they're likely to see.
Good.
So I mean, there's a
putting
lot
on our dancing shoes and our party dress.
Yeah. We're wanting to show them what we're all about.
Absolutely.
And how we're a community and how we work together towards goals. But I mean, there's multiple examples throughout our area where we are doing things together. So.
And I know people have a lot of opinions on that thing and all that, but one thing I always would say is, for even the folks that say, well, we don't have all the logistics to do that yet. But here's the thing. If we get awarded all that, it's going to happen. Sometimes when you put a deadline on people, I will argue we're in November, we think of veterans and stuff, but I always think of JFK and all that. JFK's speech, challenge us to go to the moon before the end of the decade. Everybody's crazy. This is kind of one of those deals too, a little bit. It's like, if we're not ready, then we're going to get ready.
Well,
and
one of the neat things about the Reno Air Racing Association, which, by the way, they don't even have to change the acronym. It'll be the Roswell Air Racing Association. That's a selling point.
Absolutely.
don't have to reprint their business cards, just the address. One of the things that's really good about it is that they're kind of self-sufficient. You know, there are opportunities for the community to benefit from it, but as far as running the race and doing all that stuff, they do it. We don't have to be experts on air racing. We don't have to know how to do that because they're going to do it. But look at the benefit to our hotels, to RVs, to stores, restaurants.
And more of that will come in.
And it's like $100 million annual tourism dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, this rivals the balloon fiesta in Albuquerque.
And more dollars, which means more hotels, more. As soon as they green light it.
Well, it means more opportunity. I think that's the bottom line. Opportunity for everyone.
And you know, and the
Better
logistics
jobs,
stuff. And it's going to force that airport to get more amenities and more things. It's a win for everybody.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we get to enjoy the fruits of the upgrades that have to be made, which really aren't that much. Could be. Land is the biggest thing we've got that really is our selling point. We've got the airspace and we've got the land for them to really set up shop out there and create it their own way. And so obviously as the visit comes, we'll get more on that stuff. But this is a potential for the naysayers of this. I'd say, yeah, but you're going to be the one that's going to naysay everything because it's not this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm triggering you again. You're fixing to go off.
I know.
I can see it in your eyes.
This is an opportunity to make our community better. Why do we do everything we can to make that happen?
Well, and like I say, we are working on multiple fronts as a community. And like I say, there's so much coordination with different entities and all. Commissioner Bilberry and I are going to speak in Albuquerque at the New Mexico Cattle Growers Association. So, I mean, bringing Chaves County to Albuquerque to meet with the ranchers from all over the state and talk about the issues that we're confronted with as agriculturalists in this part of the state and how that ties to the problems they're having as agriculturalists in other parts of the state.
Yeah.
You know, so there's another interaction we have. Leadership New Mexico, the Connect program comes to Roswell every year, and the city of Roswell and the Chaves County meet with them and explain how our governments work, how they're similar, how they're different. You know, we're organized differently as a municipality and as a county. This year, they came up with the idea, everything's working so well down there. Can you guys come together at the same time instead of having the county spot and the city spot, even though we're back to back?
Right.
Instead of having an individual spot, we're coming together on a panel discussion to talk about cooperation and working together as a community. And you know, it's
a nice change of pace.
Oh yeah, it's great. so we're doing that all over, and we're thankful.
Love it. We need more of that in the world we live in. Especially, we need more of. Let's get everybody together and strengthen numbers here. And you want to keep and preserve and expand what we love and what we support here. You don't do that by sitting on the sideline.
Well, and our county commissioners and our city councilors, you know, other elected officials, they're all working very hard. You might not see all the things that they're getting done. You might not see all the things that they're working on.
Sure. There's a little bit of offensive lineman there,
but you know, just at the county, just on the federal level alone, all the things that the federal government is trying to shove down our throats and do things. I heard this morning on the radio, on your radio, on 106.5, Kim Commando was talking about a device they're going to put in your car because your cell phone is always with you, and they can control the speed of your car. So you will no longer speed, and the administration is currently trying to put that out where they can automatically limit the speed of your car. Well, it looks to me like it would be a pretty simple jump to say, well, if they can limit the speed of my car, they can limit where I'm going.
Absolutely.
Goes right along with all these other things.
You're not going to work today, Dave. You're going to see me.
Private property rights. You know, we're going to control what you're going to do, and you're going to like it. Seems to be the flavor of the day. And those are the kind of things that we're paying attention to, and we're fighting against, even at the lowest levels now. They're not going to take your freedoms in one foul swoop. It's a piece at a time, and this is more of that. It's been going on for a while, and it's just been ratcheted up to huge levels here recently. So.
I remember. I know we got to go here, but I just had to switch my car insurance for various reasons here. But my wife, when we were talking, they asked, and this particular company was offering the little thing where you can save money. And she was like, "Do you want to learn more?" I said, "No." And I said, "I said, no. Last thing I want to do is you tracking where I'm going and how I'm doing. You already do it with the phone. I don't need you to dictate, oh, he was going 65 and a 55. Let's jack up his insurance. Heck, no way I'm letting you do that.
Well,
no.
Full disclosure, I met with my insurance agent earlier this week, and we're talking about doing the same thing. And I said, the only problem is in my pickup, it only goes 98 miles an hour. He looked at me real funny. It's governed at 98 miles an hour. And the thing is, if I decide to pass somebody, I'm going to put my foot on the floor and I'm going to get around them.
Yeah.
And this newer pickup that I have has a big digital display that will, first of all, ding, ding, ding when I get over 84. I think it's set on that. It says, you're speeding. You're at 84.
Yeah, I am.
This thing goes to 98 miles an hour, and then it won't go any faster. But I was telling my insurance man, I said, isn't that going to hurt me when I step on the on the accelerator? And
now you find a way to jack up my rates every time I have to
it takes off, and
no.
He just looked at me, are you serious? 98? Well, yeah. Maybe I should do this differently. But kind of enjoy. No.
Well, some guy stole it. No, I was kidding. But they are the ones that did 98 with it. But I'm not a big fan of Big Brother. Monitoring every second of my life. So
well, there are reasons. Like I say, the reason that I go 98, and it's not always 98. But if you're trying to pass somebody, you don't want to put anyone in danger. You want to make up your mind. I'm going to pass them. I'm going to get around them, and then I'm going to slow back.
Exactly.
Down to
sometimes you got to be aggressive to be safe.
And if you get penalized for that, then how many accidents do you cause by? Well, I'm just going to slowly pass them, and I'll be in the passing lane, in the oncoming traffic lane for 2 miles while I'm slowly.
Quite frankly, like you get down, like even Main Street here, like the speed limit is 35. Now I get it. There's a reason and things on parts of that. But quite frankly, if everyone's doing 35, it's slow. And, most people do about 40 on that road. And that's really the kind of good speed that but if you get those people that because they've got the governors and everything or the regulating on it, they're in the left lane doing 35 on the dot, just messing up the whole flow of things.
And I don't encourage anyone to drive 98 miles an hour. That's just an example.
But at the same time,
I do know that the pickup will go that fast very quickly.
Sometimes what the speed limit sign says and what actually traffic is doing, you need to pay attention accordingly. Because if you're doing 55 when everyone else is doing 70, you're a problem.
And the government doesn't need to decide that for us.
Exactly. So anyway.
Thank you.
Anytime. Of course, don't forget if you're the third Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. is usually the normal schedule for the county commission meeting. They're always open to the public and highly invite you and recommend you come and see your government in action.
Absolutely.
Here. So come see what's going on. They love visitors too.
We do. It's my best day whenever I look out there and there's, a bunch of people I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And whether they're just coming because we did a proclamation for them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're a part of our.
They're coming to share
and our team that
absolutely.
Day. Those are my best days at the county.
Those are the fun ones when you actually do the good stuff and get awards and we get a lot of people. But, even when it's a more lightning rod subject that they're talking about that draws the people, that's okay too. Coming out and showing your support and showing you care about your government is a good thing. So
absolutely,
good deal.
and helping us.
Absolutely. It's again, these are all people that have day jobs just like you and everything else. These aren't 35-year Congress people and things like that. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you before then. So
come with toast and turkey. Pigskin.
Yes. Eating my pigskin and napping on the couch. All right, 8:58. Let's do a quick news update and then we'll get you into more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. City of Artesia employees have received their $5,000 bonus just in time for Thanksgiving. Now, the Artesia City Council has scheduled a couple of public hearings to consider 2 ordinances to raise the salaries of the mayor, mayor pro tem, city council members, and municipal judge. The hearings will be held at the December 12th council meeting. Right now, the mayor makes $9,600 a year. That would jump to $25,000 a year. The mayor pro tem makes $8,400. That would be raised to $15,000. Council members who currently make $7,200 a year would be paid $12,500 annually, and the municipal judge salary would go from $44,000 to $65,000 per year. Other news, the Artesia Chamber of Commerce recently held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new local business. The Bar Buggy is a certified and insured mobile bar service that offers a variety of beverages, both alcohol and non-alcohol. Visit thebarbuggynm.com to book an event and to choose a package that suits your price point and special event needs. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight, and we'll dip into the upper 40s, and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover, and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70, and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit wrapping up in San Francisco. President Biden, who met there with Chinese President Xi, will be meeting today with Mexican President Obrador. The state of Illinois planning to spend $160 million to keep illegal aliens warm throughout the upcoming Chicago winter.
Nearly all of the roughly 24,000 asylum seekers who've come to Chicago since August of last year hail from much warmer climates and are vulnerable to the city's bitterly cold winters. The funds include $65 million to launch winterized temporary shelter to keep people from sleeping outdoors, and a similar amount for services such as rental assistance and help with paperwork, including work permits. The city of Chicago has been in charge of housing new arrivals and has also spent tens of millions of dollars trying to accommodate them. But Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state is stepping in because the city hasn't moved fast enough. I'm Ben Thomas.
House Ethics Committee Chair Michael Guest plans to try to have embattled New York Congressman George Santos removed from office. This follows a scathing report issued by the Ethics Committee.
The panel shared its findings with federal prosecutors, but it refrained from recommending any punitive measures. Still, Chairman Guest took it upon himself to push for expulsion. The House will likely vote on expulsion after the Thanksgiving recess. Santos announced he won't seek re-election after the report was released Thursday. However, he responded to the findings with a defiant statement posted on social media, accusing the investigators of participating in a, quote, grave miscarriage of justice.
Capitol Hill correspondent Edwin Mora. Watching Wall Street, stocks in the red now. The Dow is down about 33 points. The Nasdaq off 17. The S&P 1 point lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Ukraine's presidential office says 6 civilians have been killed by the Russians in the past 24 hours, at least 13 others injured.
In the south, the Russian army shelled residential areas of Kherson 5 times with artillery, killing 4 people and wounding 7 others, leaving some districts without electricity and damaging residential buildings, shops and a hospital. In the south of Balazirka, during a massive artillery shelling, 2 people were killed and 3 more injured, while in the eastern Donetsk region, Russians shelled 8 towns and villages, wounding 2 civilians near Marinka, where fighting is taking place. On Thursday, David Cameron travelled to the Ukrainian port of Odessa in his first overseas trip as Britain's new foreign minister, pledging continued UK military support. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
A high-speed train and a regional train involved in an accident in southern Germany earlier today. Several people suffering minor injuries in that mishap. News and analysis at townhall.com. A human rights activist in Belarus launching a hunger strike.
He's in prison protesting against Alexander Lukashenko's repressive government. Alexander Vashesek was sentenced to 15 days of administrative arrest after he was convicted on charges of distributing extremist materials. It's a charge which Belarus authorities have frequently used to detain activists recently. There were mass protests in Belarus during Alexander Lukashenko's disputed election in 2020, and the West and opposition said they were fraudulent. Since then, Belarusian authorities have detained more than 35,000 people, many of whom have reportedly been tortured while in custody. Keith Peters reporting.
It's a free speech victory for former President Trump. A New York appeals court judge has placed a gag order on hold. It barred Mr. Trump from commenting on court staffers in his civil fraud trial. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Piernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday. Yes,
Yep.
welcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I sound a little hoarse. I'm full on cold now.
You're a little hoarse.
I'm a little hoarse. So, I don't know if it sounds as bad out here as it does in my head. In my head, it
No, you
sounds...
sound good. You got a little Kathleen Turner gravitas.
I feel that.
to you.
To me, it just sounds over the top that way. I sound like Lucille Ball in 1985. Where she lies then. She might be dead.
Judy Garland era Wizard of Oz.
Did you know, I remember, speaking of Lucille Ball, I remember hearing this story years ago about her, that she swears up and down. And I guess she had some dental work done.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the extent of the dental work, but some kind of dental work. And whenever she got in this certain area by her house, she could pick up a radio frequency on her dental work.
Really?
Yes, she swore by it. And I remember hearing this story years ago about how she was hearing radio and in this area, and she's like, why am I hearing a radio? And it was her dental work picking up a signal.
That's like, you've heard stories of people who get like steel plates in their head and they start picking up signals from like comm signals from different police departments or whatever.
Yeah, that's what happened to her, allegedly, with her dental work.
That's the kind of stuff that drives people into asylums, especially in her era. They're like, what's that? Have you tried smoking cigarettes? Oh, in that case, go to the insane asylum then. Check yourself in.
Yeah,
Don't be a Mary.
I remember hearing the story. Again, I'm a radiophile, so it was like a radio bit story
That's crazy.
And they were talking about Lucille Ball.
Was it at least picking up a good station? Or was she stuck with like horse race
I
results?
don't remember the content of the station, whether it was, I think it was music.
Okay.
It was some kind of music that she was hearing, so I don't recall the genre. But I'm going to think in my head as the AM.
Yeah. Well, it would have, I mean, back in her day, frequency modulation wasn't necessarily as big of a thing.
Well, and I'm not sure what point in her life this happened.
Right.
Like this could have been the 70s and
That's true,
80s, and
because,
FM
she
was
hung in for a
full on
while.
by then. So
Yeah.
yeah. So you know, so I think this was in her, like after I Love Lucy,
Sure.
not
Back
before.
when she had the money, because after Lucy is when the money came.
Oh well, they did very well because they had the whole Desi Lou Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but after they were able to take the show and syndicate it,
Yeah.
that's when they started getting like fat pay.
well, that's when Desi Lou Productions could do more than I Love Lucy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when. Yeah, Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball, they had their own studio basically, and I think I Love Lucy was the first thing that came out of it, and when it finally hit, they were able to do other Desi Lou production things.
They were able to expand the Desi Lou universe,
Yes.
cinematic universe.
But that was always the story I remember hearing.
It is. It's almost. I'm really glad that I was born in the time and era that I was, because if you look back, like the stuff that people who worked in Hollywood went through.
Mhm.
Like I watched this little short. I brought it up a little bit yesterday about Willy Wonka. Some of the stuff that these actors experienced on the set, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
You know that scene where they're in the whatever thing and it starts overflowing all the steam or the stuff like the white foam
Mhm.
onto them? That white foam was the stuff that they used for like flame retardant in like a fire extinguisher.
Ah.
They didn't know that was a severe skin irritant, and people were like getting like burns on the set.
Yeah.
And burning their skin on the set.
And that stuff smells too, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, real bad. They said the girl who played I can't remember, the one who chewed the gum. She said she ended up having to get like a full-blown new set of teeth at like 18 because she got like 8 cavities from or lost 8 teeth from the cavities she got from that set.
They didn't have sugar-free gum back then?
It was, I mean, it's horrifying, this stuff. Or if you ever like just dive into what Buster Douglas went through back in the silent to talkie days,
well,
it's insane.
And
that
these
man should have died 17 times.
Well, and these are the reasons why movie sets are way different now. It's like, we got to stop for lunch. We can't go into overtime. We can't, because they're unions and everything.
Yeah.
Well, because they were fighting exactly what you're talking about. The abuses, the hours on set to get the perfect light, the kids working 12 hours longer than they need to. And, all of the abuses that were going, and then their unions came in and kind of, that's why, that SAG and all that stuff is so important, because
100%.
They all join it because otherwise they avoid what you're just talking about
There's a scene, it's like just a clip, I can't remember from what movie, where it's Buster Douglas playing, and he's hanging from a clock tower.
Mm-hmm.
He's like hanging from the hands of a clock tower, and he bends one of the hands. He did all that like in real life. Like they had a net, but he was legit hanging from a building.
Yeah.
When they shot that. There's no like practical whatever.
And here's my thing is, I think we're going to see more of that now again.
Like the Renaissance?
Because literally, if you've got a cell phone, you can make a movie now.
It's true.
And so I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be making movies that aren't SAG, or they're just Steven Spielberg in their backyard doing things.
But the people that are making movies on their phones and iPads or whatever, they also know how to use the green screen, the CGI, and that stuff.
Yeah, but
that stuff that used to take months and years, it now takes minutes.
You're going to come across the people that don't believe in that, and they're like, "No, I want the real action," and they're going to try to do it in their backyard.
Oh yeah.
And next thing you know, you're going to start seeing some of the things that we were talking about earlier, I think. But
got to thin the herd somehow.
Yeah. like Apple's really like trying to get everybody convinced that you buy an iPhone and you're a movie director all of a sudden. Like that's really how they market all their commercials. It's like,
that's
here.
the whole reason to buy the new iPhone is it's got a nicer camera.
Yeah. So now you're a filmmaker.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I'm a filmmaker. I have an iPhone.
I will say the only thing that's ever made me want an Apple product in my entire life is the thing that the new Apple Watch can do.
Yeah, you can
where
do it
you double pinch your fingers, and it's supposedly will like take a picture or like.
And I'm not that deep in the Apple world. I don't have an iPhone. I don't wear I mean, I have an iPhone. I don't have an Apple Watch. I don't wear watches and all that stuff.
And I haven't in years, but that's the only thing that's got me close to be like, oh, Apple products are kind of cool, because that's very like I watched Get Smart as a kid,
Yeah. And
I always wanted a shoe in my phone.
Oh, I loved Get Smart, the shoe phone and the whole. To me, like when Inspector Gadget the cartoon came out, I was like, y'all just ripping off.
But
Get Smart.
that they weren't. Well, they were, but it was Don Adams. It was the same guy.
I know.
So that's
but
I always appreciated it.
In my head, I kind of felt like, oh, you're just stealing from.
I always felt like Inspector Gadget was the spiritual successor to.
And he kind of was, but
Get Smart.
In my head, I always looked at Inspector Gadget's second banana because I grew up watching Get Smart, and I'm like, you're just a knock. You're the GoBots.
Now that's where you and I like intersect because I looked at Inspector Gadget and then I watched Get Smart on Nick at Night when my parents would leave the TV on.
Yeah.
So I was more into Inspector Gadget than I was Get Smart.
Sure.
My sister's name was even Penny, so I always kind of like latched onto that because that was his niece's name. But then I latched onto Don Adams, the whole Get Smart, that genre. And I think that show sort of made me appreciate live action comedy because it was from that I watched like Police Squad and some of those like the Naked Guns and all that.
Right.
And that sort of like launched my you don't have to be animated to be funny,
Yeah. That reminds me, and this is how I got there. Matthew Broderick played Inspector Gadget in the movie. And so it just so happened, I was like, oh, Matthew Broderick. I saw him in a movie the other day, and it looked different. I watched that Jennifer Lawrence. Is it Lawrence? No, Hudson. Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. The girl from Hunger Games.
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence.
That Netflix movie, the raunchy one that everyone talks about.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it. No, it's the whole premise of the movie is a kid that he's like
the boyfriend one or the girlfriend, right?
Yeah, basically be the kid's girlfriend for a car. And but Matthew Broderick is the dad.
Oh, is he?
And he's got this wild hairdo, and at first I'm like, oh man, and then it took me. Then he started talking, and I was like, oh dang, that's Matthew Broderick. But for a hot minute, I didn't.
That's the crazy thing is he is wildly changed in appearance.
Yeah,
his voice never changed.
And that's just it.
He's still got that voice.
But he had almost like a Beethoven hair thing going on, and it was pretty wild. But anyway, I got to thank McDonald's.
Yes,
because they are awesome. And they provide us delicious breakfast treats each and every Friday.
Indeed, they do.
So thankful for that. Download the app, utilize it, start ordering. You can order through there and pick it up, drive through, have it delivered, whatever's the most convenient, easy way for you. That app will allow you to do it, and you can be a McDonald's VIP just by downloading that app, earning rewards, getting free food, getting exclusive deals that are only available to the app users. And it provides all the conveniences and the things you love about McDonald's, and eliminates the stresses and headaches that come with trying to get stuff through a busy drive-through right now. So definitely check it out and download it today.
Indeed.
It is 9:16. We've got the folks from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico going to join us here in just a bit. Don't forget, I'll try to explain this again.
Deep breath and go.
We got volleyball playoffs and football playoffs today and tomorrow. The Goddard Rocket volleyball team will play at 4 o'clock today. And they're going to be taking on, they are the 2 seed in the tournament. They're taking on the 3 seed, the St. Pius Sartans, who defeated Hope Christian 3-2 yesterday. Goddard defeated Gallup, a 2 seed versus a 10 seed Gallup, 3-0. Again, they will play at 4 o'clock today. We will have that game audio only online at ksvptv.com and the Goddard Rocket channel. You'll be able to listen to the game. Kelly McDonald and Chris Deck are in Rio Rancho. They're gonna call that game for you today. Now, if Goddard wins at 4 o'clock today, then they are done until tomorrow at 2 p.m. for the semifinal match. If they win that game, then they will play in the championship game 6 p.m. Tomorrow. Now, for tomorrow's games, that if they do win and they play at 2, that will be audio only online, ksvptv.com. That's the only way we'll be able to bring that to you, because during that time we will have on the radio the Roswell Coyote Deming football semifinal playoff matchup that will kick off about 1 o'clock with about 12:40 pregame and all that. So, but if they do make it to the championship game, we will have that on the radio and the audio at ksvptv.com. If they lose today at 4 o'clock, then they will be back in action at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if they win that game, then they go to Hold on. This is where I'm getting confused. So M22, where is the winner? Okay. Then they will play at 2 o'clock. So if they win at 8, then they'll play in the semis at 2 o'clock. That we would have audio only on KSVPTV.com. And then if they win that, then the championship game at 6 p.m. So they could either play at tomorrow at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. or 8 a.m., 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Of course, if they lose at 8 a.m., then they're done. If they lose at 2 p.m., they're done. And but if they lose, of course, it's double elimination. So if they win today, they still have no losses. And then, in essence, if they lose at 8 o'clock, they're going to have to, so basically they have to lose twice to be eliminated from the tournament. So if they win today, then they'll have the 2 games. So if they lose at 2, I think they're going to have to play a conciliatory game to get back in at 6 o'clock, or maybe there's a 4 o'clock game in there if they lose at 2. But again, it gets confusing. But we'll have today audio only, KSVPTV.com. Tomorrow, we're going to have the Goddard games on the radio and audio only, KSVP TV, except for the 2 p.m. semifinal playoff matchup. We cannot bring that to you on the radio. It'll be audio only, KSVPTV.com, because we'll be doing the football game on the radio at that time, which is audio only as well. We do not have video permission rights to bring you the video for the Roswell Deming game, so it'll be audio only. Kelly McDonald will be traveling to Deming later today after that 4 o'clock game here. He'll be heading to Deming, and Chris Deck will be calling the Saturday Goddard games for you there. So I know it's a little confusing. I threw a lot at you, but the point you need to know is KSVPTV.com. Go to the Goddard Rockets channel. You're going to catch all of our volleyball there. Saturday, with the exception of the semifinal game, we'll put that on the radio and that audio there as well. That's the plan. All right, it is 9:21. Let's take a quick break, weather and quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with the folks from the Historical Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings of Mike Winters. I need a nap.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low-pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight, and we'll dip into the upper 40s, and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover, and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70, and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
On December 16th at 10 a.m., American Legion Post 61 in Roswell will be honoring our fallen veterans at Memory Lawn Memorial Cemetery for National Wreaths Across America Day. We invite you to join us in placement of the wreaths on the graves of our fallen heroes on that day. We also need your support by sponsoring a wreath that will be placed on a grave right here in Roswell. You can sponsor a wreath for as little as $17. To sponsor a wreath, volunteer, and to learn more about the great work of the Wreaths Across America organization, please visit roswelllegion.org today.
Have you ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, we're in the 9 o'clock hour, so John LeMay was able to make it here today.
Good job, John.
And Amy McVeigh is as well with us. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing
today?
Good
morning.
Good deal. How's life treating y'all? Keeping busy?
It's good.
I know we've been busy at the Historical Society.
We're rocking and rolling.
We had an amazing heritage dinner. I guess it was a week ago yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sure enough. So I hope everyone enjoyed the meal. I know I did.
Yeah, it was great.
Matter of fact, I had to finish my wife's mousse the next day, so I got 2 mousses.
Oh.
Well, I got 2 salmon dips because I'd never had that before.
Oh, that stuff was a
That's good.
Well, we didn't finish our salmon dip. I just ate till the crackers were gone.
You could have given it to me because
I finished it.
Okay.
Not night one.
Oh, all right.
I took that was the
Gift
one
that keeps on giving.
A little bit of mousse and a little bit of the salmon dip. That's what was left Friday, and that was consumed on Friday.
No.
So I was saying, I'm within walking distance. You could have just said,
true.
That's true.
Come get it.
Salmon dip.
I'm not
so
too
you're
proud.
Saying you've got his back. You're there for him.
That's right.
I'm not too proud to eat your
Good job,
leftovers.
Tom.
Don't worry. It got 8.
Okay.
Just not Thursday evening.
Okay.
At some point, I was like, I got to shut down. I've been eating all the food. But
on behalf of the Historical Society, we just want to say thank you to each and every individual that made that possible. What an honor and privilege it is to celebrate the legacy of Mary Lou Glass. We want to encourage people to continue to be a beacon of light. Our lights will be soon lit at the Historical Society, and it's in celebration of the holidays, but I think even more importantly, it's a celebration of Mary Lou as she was a beacon of light to us, and we want to encourage the community.
I think my favorite part of the evening was when her family got to come and visit, and they got to come and see the event, and obviously pick up their tickets for their meals and everything, but just for them to come out and kind of see and meet and talk, and the other aspect that I loved so much, and it was purely, call it God worked this one out, but one of the most, I don't know what, it just set the tone for a beautiful evening, and it was the tree. I loved if you came right into the entrance of the property here, right by the main entrance you turn in, we have a large tree there, and of course we had it lit up for Christmas. And this is the act of God part. It was these beautiful white lights, and it just so happened this particular tree had basically turned all its foliage into an orange-red color.
It really
and and hopefully people that got to go get there like right around 5 before it got dark, when it was still that dusk, but the lights were, and I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure there, and I didn't get a chance to see pics afterwards of that, but I bet there's some really beautiful pictures of that tree. And I don't know, it just, for me, it set the tone of the night.
Beautiful.
I was like, this tree, it's like.
We had never done that before.
But it was like, it never seen it. It's just, it was almost like one of these, like God was.
It was
doing his thing here and said, "Hey, ding," and make that tree." And to me, it was kind of it. That was the symbol of the night. Was that tree for me?
I agree,
and that's what I loved about it. And I don't know what the status of the leaves on it now, but try They're gone. Oh, bummer. I was say if you can, there's some great pictures there.
As a matter of fact, shout out to our amazing all-star landscaping that's going to come handle those beautiful leaves. It's amazing what 1 week's time. Somebody asked me this, and thank you for mentioning this. On behalf of the Historical Society, our event started at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
It started at 5 o'clock with the Historical Society, Jason Garcia, president, and myself, awarding the Heritage Award to Wayne Glass, Mary Lou's husband. Their daughter Zoa and her husband was present. We were able to celebrate Mary Lou, so they received that award, and that's the way events started.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it was a low key event by design because Mary Lou Glass wasn't for the pageantry. She wasn't. There were two things we kept because of the person we were honoring. One was the prime rib for dinner. That was not negotiable.
That's right.
And the second was to not go over the top with this, to keep it simple but and modest, but at the same time celebrating her family, but also the Historical Society, because at the end of the day, her passion was the Historical Society. So,
and we're going to continue through the end of the year to collect children's books in honor and celebration of Mary Lou Glass, that was retired educator.
Absolutely.
So you're wondering, why are they doing that? We're collecting children's books. They will be given during the holiday season in honor of her name, and a sticker will go inside the book. Call the museum.
Absolutely.
622-8333.
Well, it's not uncommon.
Slightly used or new.
Well, it's not uncommon for us to have retired or current educators very much a part of the
what would we do without
Historical
those?
Society family. So
that's for sure.
Because,
that's a legacy.
Even without Mary Lou Glass's influence, we still are very much a part of that type of thing. So I know we're kind of focusing it this month, but to be quite honest, if you bring that by any time of the year at any time, we will make sure it gets to the proper people.
We're in the book business, aren't we, John?
Absolutely. You bring us canned food or books and things, we'll make sure it gets to the right people.
Loose change, books.
Loose change we'll keep a hold of, but the canned food we give off to the community kitchen and proper authorities, and the books we give to the proper people. But the loose change we keep around and use it for our own making our own things nice. So the next generations get to come and see what's in the archives and see what's in the J.P. White home here. And that's what it's all about. So thank you to everyone that participated. Thank you to everyone that came out and got a meal. We apologize. We frustrated a few people with traffic on that one. Everyone came at once. And,
2 people.
But we learned some new French that day. And,
it was entertaining. John, and you missed out.
I'm glad I was doing deliveries.
We had some French speakers out there. Folks are French to us. And
Jason and Mike were traffic directors. And
we learned some French on that day. But we apologize for the inconvenience.
Right.
Thank you for everyone's patience. And overall, it was a 10 event and a big success. And very thankful. Thank you to Peppers. They pull it. They do what they do, and they did it in amazing fashion again for us. And thank you to everyone that came out and part of it. Thank you to the bread bakers. The people that break those bread and all that.
Thank you, Margaret. We sold out of bread.
That was the second most popular food that night. Peppers got the 1 seed, but your bread was a very close number 2.
That's true.
Thank you to everyone that supported and brought change and brought books and came out. And even the folks that didn't realize what we're doing but came to see anyway and just said, yeah. We had a couple people, and I think one dropped off some change. And they weren't, so thank you to all of those folks. Absolutely. So that being said, we got another opportunity. John's going to be busy the next 2 days. As a matter of fact, I'm guessing he's going to leave here and go park himself at a table. Here in just a little bit.
Get a good parking spot. There you go.
But we can now officially say it is the holiday season.
Yay!
Because this weekend, today and tomorrow, is the Holiday Magic Art and Craft Fair. 2 fun-filled days. It's back at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. It will actually get underway. Let me get my official timesheet.
10:30.
10:30 this morning, and will remain open through 6 p.m. this evening. And then we'll do it all over again tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you want to get a hold of John LeMay's big, huge list of books, the man who wrote them all will be there selling some of his books, including your newest stuff as well too. I mean, that's where he's focusing. But if you want to get to talk to him about some of his older books, he'll be happy to,
That new one's a hot item, isn't it?
Yeah. Talk about the newest one.
The newest one is probably love it or hate it type book for some people, but it's the history of witches in New Mexico.
I love it.
It's not a scary book. It's not a spell book. It's just literally the history of this incidence of witchcraft happened at this pueblo. It's just the straight history. So it's called the New Mexico Book of Witches.
Nice. See, he's dipping into Donna's territory.
Yeah.
Because Donna loves to do the ghost stories and the witches and all that. So I imagine you probably talked with her a little bit about some of the
she
some
inspired
of the
me.
Yeah, some of the different people and things. And so I'm guessing it's you digging through the archives and looking for newspaper stories and things about various trials or incidences that occurred in southeast New Mexico during that time, accusing of witchcraft and things like that.
There really wasn't much for southeast New Mexico. It's definitely more of a northern New Mexico type topic. There's a few here. Like there was a witch in Lincoln County somewhere. Don't know where, but there was definitely a witch that they claimed lived. I don't know if it was in the Hondo Valley or in the village, but they claimed that they would look through the window and they would watch her like remove her limbs one by one and then wash them in a tub. So they're like folk tales, obviously.
Wow. How much laudanum was being consumed at that time?
Yeah.
Just curious. That sounds like some opiates were being consumed in that bad boy right there.
But I think the book that's most holiday appropriate is a novel I wrote called Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumner. Couple reasons. First of all, I did the text, the interior, but Logan Pack did the exterior cover and the interior illustrations.
I remember when you came on to promote it. It's a beautiful artwork, but it's a cool story because it's a work of fiction, but there's so much nonfiction that events around the story. And that's what I love about. I love stories that take place as a historical piece and incorporates a lot of true history, but kind of is telling a story of a person living during that historical period. I love stories like that, and this is very much one of those stories.
And it's actually it's set during Thanksgiving and early parts of Christmas, so it's like a seasonal book for this time of year. And then the other point, though, is that Logan has a booth directly behind me.
Oh, so he'll be there, so you can visit both.
You could literally
get a John Hancock on both of
signatures.
those.
So that's like it's hard to pin down Logan and me at the same time. So like you can get both of us to sign it, which is cool.
On both the books because he did both of them.
Yeah. I wrote two, but I'm pushing the Once Upon a Time just because it's more of a Christmas Thanksgiving book.
I agree.
And it's like you wrote that earlier this year. That's a newer one of your books. Is that the book right before this new one? Or is it a book in between?
I do like 10 books a year now, so I can't say.
They get muddied up a little bit together. But I seem to think this was the book you were promoting and talk about before the witches book. Here. I have slept since then, so I might have missed one. but that's what I love about your work is you cover the. I mean, yes, if you want Southeast history, Billy the Kid, all of that lore, you cover that. But then you get into the science fiction a little bit. He even has a few books in the Godzilla and that kind of world. Yeah. And if you want to talk to him about those at this event, too. It's not all history. It's all a little science fiction. John's basically taking his loves and interests and doing his research and sharing his stories and his information with the world through this.
Well, and if they have requests on those types of books, we might be able. You could
I
bring
could
them
maybe
the next
bring
day.
them the next day. Yeah. But I want to talk about Donna's new book. So this is something funny.
And I'm a fan of your Ash Up.
Okay,
that book because I love that character.
Thank you.
That's another one of his great books.
And I only have one of those.
One left?
I only have one.
You
today.
need to order more because that one that one's a good book. And I tell people, he was actually in the Young Guns movie. The character of which he wrote. Now he had a smaller role and everything. But you kind of but if you watch Young Guns 2 and you watch the reporter book, a novelist that kind of hangs out with Pat Garrett during his hunt for Billy the Kid, that's Ash.
Yeah.
The guy that saved him from the Native Americans when they're walking through the burial grounds, and he's taking care of nature's business. And he's then the actual Indians come to attack Pat Garrett and he stands up and speaks Apache or Navajo or whatever language they speak and got him out. But that's a real person, and to be honest, I think the image of the West that we think of in the dime store novels, and Ash is kind of one of those voices that created the images that we think of when we think of the Wild West, and how the West was won, and that type of imagery. That's Ash. But so that's another one of his books. And so ask about that while you're, but if you want to learn more about the witches and everything, and is Donna going to be floating around on this event too?
Yeah, so that's the funny story I wanted to tell is the witch. So the witch book was actually Donna's idea, and we were doing it together, and she was like, I've got too much to do already. And so like, she's like, you just do the witch book. But then her new book, Tall Tales and Half Truths of Clay Allison, was my idea, and I never finished it. And she did that one,
So she picked the baton and ran with it.
And so if you like my Tall Tales, Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett, Tall Tales of Clay Allison is so fascinating. And again, it's a book I wanted to write because Clay Allison has so many unique stories. He's not as well known. So if you want to buy for that hard to buy gifts for a person that likes history, I think Clay Allison, they will enjoy that.
Cool.
What I love about those is because it's, you like when we're talking about Ash and, the dime store novels and the artistic license that those had to paint, these kids back east were reading about these legends, the Billy the Kids and the, Wild Bill Hickox and all the various, White Earps and so forth out there. Those books, I love those books because those books kind of take, okay, some of this was true and some of this was, the novelist trying to sell a dime novel book. And those books all kind of separate some of that and because some of the stuff, as ridiculous as it seems, is true, and then others of it is, the Wild West version of Hollywood at the time there. So, and so that's why I love it. So to me, any of those, it doesn't matter who the subject is. I love the fact that you kind of say, well, he wasn't, it wasn't a dragon he's flying in on. He's doing something different here, or whatever that story is. And so that's what I love about those books. But that's why I like, because everything to me is kind of like how the sausage is made, and I'm a fan of anything that's about how the sausage is made, even about things I don't care about. I still want to know how. Like I don't care about wrestling, but I'll watch a whole thing about how the wrestling's done and made and these stories behind it. That's kind of me, and I feel like a lot of your books kind of put you in that place, in that place a little bit. So. Now you going to be there all hours, all both days?
Donna and John will be there both days, the whole time. We're booth number 72.
And Amy handcuffs us to the table, so we can't leave, just for bathroom breaks. But we have to call.
Right. And sometimes she just gives them a cup.
I'm just kidding.
It's a big cup.
Hey, guys,
they don't like the cup. They said no more of that.
So
it's a Johnny on the spot.
Just to find in a nutshell at our booth, if you say, I've got all of John LeMay's books, I find it hard to believe they have all the John LeMay
he's got a lot of books.
He's got a lot of books.
But Donna's going to be there too. Do you have her books too?
They'll both be autographing. With every purchase, people will get a gift bag and a herd print and a bookmark with any purchase in honor of Mary Lou Glass. Well, we are selling this right here. These are our amazing monogrammed Historical Society sealed charcuterie boards or cutting boards.
They're very
limited edition only. They will be, this will be our Holiday Magic promotion for only $30. We have them gift wrapped, ready to go, $30.
Was someone making those for us? Or?
Yes. Thank you to CRM. We love CRM.
Okay, I was going to say, who's our
partnered with them, and they really, so CRM partnered with us. We really appreciate it.
I love the wood texture. I love how it kind of gives it the grainy look.
So these were part of our event for the Heritage Dinner, and we thought it was a great gift for the holidays. So we will have those and it is a Holiday Magic promotion for only $30.
And charcuterie boards are kind of
guys,
a
this
new
is
thing
a great
now.
deal for $30.
Yeah,
they are gift wrapped, ready to go. We do have a herd print promotion at Holiday Magic. We've got most of our herd prints available for sale in bundles.
Good deal.
And bring your loose change. Bring the books.
We'll be taking all of that.
And
off.
anytime.
Will there be any of the other books available? But that, like some of the other local authors, like is there any?
We
any of our...
don't because we have when
Very
John and
left.
Donna write so many books. But
There's
let me
enough room
say
on the
this:
table,
if they have a request, and let me give out my cell phone number. If they need a special circumstance, even if they want something wrapped, I don't care, whatever it is, we're all in. Call me or text me at 575-915-4471. That's my cell phone number. And if John doesn't have a book, we can get them delivered over there. John and Donna are great. If they need an Elvis Fleming book, different.
So we'll get the runners going. And,
you better believe it.
So if
we're all in.
And by the way, if you can always go to the Historical Society's website and order those too.
Or email us historydirector@outlook.com. The museum number is 622-8333. We will be decorated after Thanksgiving for Christmas, and we will be doing private holiday tours and pictures during the holidays.
I'm going to give you guys some pro tips. Like we said, this thing's going to get underway here in about a little under an hour from now, about an hour or about 50 minutes from now, 45 minutes. there is something, I call it a tradition, if you will, that is always part of the holiday magic.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm talking about food, because this is what
that's
I do.
true. It always goes back.
There are some fudge and pumpkin rolls. There are a couple pumpkin rolls, particularly for me, but the fudge and cookies. There's a couple. Each sect of our community have their favorites.
That's true.
But one thing is universal. If you're there for the pumpkin rolls or the fudge or any of these cookies, you better make sure your butt is there at 10:30 this morning, or at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Because if you roll in at noon or 1 and 2 looking for pumpkin rolls, they're going to be going the way of the dodo. They're out of there. They're gone.
Shout out to Deborah Lucas. And that's a legacy.
And she makes a ton, and she can't keep up with demand.
She's
So
amazing.
they are really. So if you want the highly coveted pumpkin roll or the fudge or anything, get there early, and then once you get your fudge, your pumpkin roll, mosey on over to the Historical Society table. Check out John and Donna's books and all the herd prints and all the cool stuff. And by the way, if you're interested in becoming a member of the Humane Society or have any questions about that, don't hesitate to...
The Historical Society or the Humane
Society. Did I say Humane Society?
You can do it both. Hey, you know what? That's
it's Friday.
Cool.
My brain's fried.
We're the Historical Society. Support the Humane Society and the Historical Society.
They do great stuff
and
there,
the Historical Society.
I don't know if they're going to have a booth at the thing.
And John, a fun fact, one of our supporters of almost every book fair, Mr. Wooten, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have an amazing, shout out to Soda Alicious in front.
Ooh, yeah.
It looked like a store outside. Like they're making sodas look
cool.
good. So shout out to them. And I do have to shout out to Nancy Forrest and my amazing, one of my favorite booths, and Danielle Gonzalez. We all work together.
Well, Danielle's been a part of the Historical
She's our
Society family too.
They were helping us yesterday. So
I'm going to say, indirectly, she's the Historical Society's historian.
Well, that's true.
Because every time we have an event, who's the one that chronicles it?
That's right.
It is
thank you,
her.
Danielle.
So
we
Danielle
do
is
love you.
kind of our unofficial historian of the Historical Society.
She's a blessing that we don't deserve, and God put her in our lives through honoring the family.
Yeah.
And we don't deserve her. She's so amazing, and I just want to thank her. So shout out. She's part of the family. We really appreciate it.
And the whole Gonzalez family are very much
Yeah.
supporters and fabrics of the whole Roswell community.
I'm just honored to be part of the Holiday Magic. My mom helped start the Holiday Magic. First logo, first name.
So you're
it was
part
my
of the
mom.
original. And by the way, this is the 42nd one.
I have.
We haven't
So
mentioned that.
shout out. Yes, I am older than 42.
But you haven't been to You were there.
We were here in the beginning. We were.
I've seen. I'm a little older than 42 myself.
They are a legacy of Roswell.
It's as old as the Heritage Dinner, right?
Yes,
42,
yes,
thereabouts.
yes,
Close.
yes.
The 42nd one.
Yeah.
Now, also want to remind folks, and this is a good thing, they're going to ask for $3 admission to get in. Unless you have a child under 12, then they get in free. However, all of your $3, when you donate the $3, it's not going to the Holiday Magic people. It's not going to anybody. Every penny of that $3 is going to go to some great local organizations. They include the Assurance Home, the First Tee of Southeastern New Mexico. They're a great program that gets golf and to make it available to everyone. They work with young children, particularly getting them into the sport of golf, but they also teach them life lessons while they're teaching them how to whack the ball and all that good stuff. Also, Christian Outreach Ministries and Roswell's local high schools, both high schools. And I'm guessing it says Roswell's home. I might even throw in our other high schools as well too, not just the two. So don't balk or get salty when they ask for $3 when you walk in the door. It's going back to local charity.
Well worth it.
So I would even argue if you want to give them $5, that's okay.
There you
or
go.
give them 10. Don't give them all your money because you got to buy some stuff in the craft fair. But pony up a couple bucks because and I'm telling you, if you want to know, Assurance Home, they do such great work out there, and they're a Roswell, and they're literally a hidden gem. I think most people don't realize what goes on there, and it's literally an oasis in the middle of town.
It is.
and they really work with youth and things, and giving them foundations to go on to be good adults and things like that. And of course, that, like I said, the First Tee, they kind of do the same thing, but they use golf as the platform, and they really try to make golf affordable for everyone. And so they'll get the youngest of kids, and they provide them with the clubs and everything. It's cute. They're the tiniest little clubs. They can fit in your wallet. I'm just kidding. They're not that little, but they're little clubs and everything.
They are.
And they really just give these kids and teach them, the fundamentals of golf, but life lessons, patience, responsibility, teamwork, respect, all the things that we want our kids to be. That's what First Tee does, and then kind of the others you can figure out with the ministries and all that. They do the Lord's work there. So your $3 will be going to support great things in our community. That's part of the tradition that is the holiday magic. That's why it's all together. It was started, like you said, by a group of people locally here, and it's caught on for 42 years, and it's got such that historical background, but it also has its background because of its reputation of 42 years.
They've stood the test of time.
They very stringently monitor who they let in as crafters and who they don't. Nothing wrong with Sensi and all these things. There's a time and a place for that, but this event is not for that kind of thing. Right. It is literally for homemade crafts, arts, people, artisans, and people that this is their life, their passion, that they make this art or do these things. And of course, it's holiday themed because it's decor, it's gifts, it's everything, and it is not for just the ladies, fellas. I'm telling you, every single person that walks into that convention center this weekend, I guarantee there's something in that building you're going to want to walk out with. Yeah. I guarantee it. I bet my paycheck.
It is full.
And I would also argue multiple trips. Like if you come out today, this morning, come out tomorrow. It's going to look different because as the crafts sell, that's the idea. New ones come out and things like that. So, and by the way, I would also argue if you see something on the spot, don't hope and come back later thinking it'll be
Been
available.
there and done that, and it's gone.
And it's again like the pumpkin rolls, Audi 5,000 gone.
That's right.
But it's a great event. Please come out and make sure you visit the Historical Society's booth. Come meet John. Come meet Donna, come meet Amy, and come and see exactly some great stuff there. And trust me, all these books, they make great gifts. And here's you don't have to buy them as gifts. If you're like, no, I want to read it, so be it. Yeah. That's okay. You can keep it for yourself.
Read it and then gift it.
And then,
I don't know.
Absolutely. Be very careful so you don't mess with the spine, so it doesn't look like you gave them a used book. You might have to be very careful of that because new book smell is very unique.
Yeah,
you
like
you don't want to
smell.
you don't want to. And people that like to read books and they like the new book smell.
They'll notice.
It's part of the whole experience. So you better not ruin that for them.
Yeah.
So just buy two. You're not that expensive. Come on, keep your own. And
that's right.
It's not like we're asking $1 million for these things. They're cheap.
Yes. and shout out to Elaine Mayfield. She was there helping us set up, help make the
Elaine's everywhere. Elaine is our official.
Thank you.
I think like we were talking about, Danielle's our historian.
Yep.
Elaine's our official pivot person.
She's there.
The utility guy.
That's exactly what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
She was there.
Like
Thank you,
little did you know that while we're all outside, getting tickets and waving people through, that's her birthday.
Yeah.
That was her birthday that day.
We did.
And she spent her birthday serving the community.
And Mary Lou would love that.
Absolutely.
She was a dear friend of Mary Lou's.
So yes, Elaine is kind of that creamy middle in Kit Kats and make it all together very tasty.
She makes it all good. That's true.
Absolutely. So very much. Did we miss anything?
If you have any questions, you can call the museum 622-8333. Have any research needs, or we're archives available.
Absolutely.
Archives will be decorated.
Holiday party or
something. Need to call now.
Call
the archives number 622-1176. Email me at historydirector@outlook.com, and our website is roswellhistory.org. If you do have a special request for holiday magic, give me a call directly on my cell phone, 575-915-4471. John LeMay is all in to help in any way possible, and Donna.
And just so you know, your special request can't be, Amy, I can't be there early. Can you grab me a pumpkin roll? That is not a request she will honor.
Hey, well,
get your own pumpkin roll.
Hey, for the right donation, and if you buy John LeMay a cookie, he might do that.
Hey, if you're willing to pay $1,000 for a pumpkin roll, we'll make sure we get you a pumpkin roll.
That's true.
We talked about this last year. That was our idea, to scalp the pumpkin rolls. We buy them, sell them for more outside the parking lot.
Do the
delivery.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. You know what? Better yet, we'll sit outside. We'll buy them up, and then stand in front of the thing and sell them for 4 times the price that they were charging for them.
They got to be in an overcoat.
We'll be pumpkin roll scalpers.
Deborah, I would apologize in advance. She does give my husband allergy shots. We better be good. We better be nice. Hey, and we can't leave. Shout out to Roswell Coyote. Shout out to Goddard.
Absolutely.
We've got some great kids doing great things. I think that we are the state of New Mexico athletics. I'm proud of our area.
It's great that we're going to see.
Artesia, too.
And we're going to bring as much. I know it's confusing this weekend because of the radio, video, but just to simplify as possible, Goddard will play at 4 o'clock today. Doesn't matter. That is set in stone.
Good luck.
They will play at 4 o'clock.
Rockets.
They're taking on the 3 seed St. Pius, so it's going to be a big game.
Go Rockets.
If they win, they advance to the semifinals tomorrow at 2. If they lose, then they got to go through the losers bracket gauntlet starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Today's game will be audio only at ksvptv.com. It's not on the radio. It's just online. You can go and listen to it there. Again, we do not have video permissions, so can't do that. Tomorrow, Goddard volleyball games we will put on the radio here on 106.5 and online audio ksvptv.com in the Goddard Rocket channel, with the exception of that semifinal game at 2 o'clock, because the Roswell Coyotes will play Deming at 1 o'clock for the semifinal football championship.
There you go.
And so we will have that game for you at
and then
that
go
time
Bulldogs,
on the radio.
right? They play at 2 tomorrow.
And then Bulldogs will play at 1 o'clock tomorrow as well. The
Shout out to the South.
By the way, the Artesia Lady Bulldog volleyball team is the 1 seed.
We're
so you're wondering,
rolling.
see, Goddard's the 2. You're like, who's that 1 seed? Southeast New Mexico
It's right
representing.
Here. We're representing. That's part of history.
Exactly.
That's legacy.
So
we got great kids.
In theory, we could have an Artesia Goddard volleyball championship tomorrow, and next Saturday a Roswell Artesia football championship.
I hope so.
So that's what we're hoping to see.
Hooray for this part of the state.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's what we're hoping. But in all fairness, I just hope to God they win today, so I don't have to be here at 7:30 in the morning.
Let's just go for the wins.
For the sake of
South
my
of the wins.
sanity,
we
win
need all
today.
Wins. Victorious. There you go. There you go.
Lady Rockets.
Yay!
So, thank you guys.
Thank you for all
I
you
imagine
do.
you guys got to get over there and get set up for the
and
for
have
the
a
fair.
great weekend.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if you do procure a pumpkin roll and you pick up a second one and slide it under the table to give to John or Amy, they'll be very happy. That might get you some freebie stuff too if you can slide them a pumpkin roll.
Blessing.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks,
All
Mike.
right, it is 9:55. Let us do a quick update for news and a quick commercial break before we go. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. City of Artesia employees have received their $5,000 bonus just in time for Thanksgiving. Now, the Artesia City Council has scheduled a couple of public hearings to consider 2 ordinances to raise the salaries of the mayor, mayor pro tem, city council members, and municipal judge. The hearings will be held at the December 12th council meeting. Right now, the mayor makes $9,600 a year. That would jump to $25,000 a year. The mayor pro tem makes $8,400. That would be raised to $15,000. Council members who currently make $7,200 a year would be paid $12,500 annually, and the municipal judge salary would go from $44,000 to $65,000 per year. Other news, the Artesia Chamber of Commerce recently held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new local business. The Bar Buggy is a certified and insured mobile bar service that offers a variety of beverages, both alcohol and non-alcohol. Visit thebarbuggynm.com to book an event and to choose a package that suits your price point and special event needs. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Some cloud cover possible today. We have a low-pressure system crossing our state. We'll be in the low 70s for the afternoon high. Not expecting any rain with that system. Some clouds overnight, and we'll dip into the upper 40s, and then a little bit more sunshine on Saturday. Still some lingering cloud cover, and we're in the upper 60s on the high. Partly cloudy on Saturday night, windy, 70, and sunny on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The housing market appears to be gaining some momentum, with building permits rising just over 1% last month, and housing starts were up almost 2% in October, coming on the heels of a revised 3.1% advance in September. It was a mixed open this morning on Wall Street before the key averages turned modestly lower at mid-morning. Shares of the Gap jumped more than 18% in off-hours trading, after the fashion retailer breezed past Wall Street profit forecasts, even as sales lagged from 1 year ago. It's been a busy week for retail earnings, with Target, Home Depot, and Macy's all reporting better than expected profits for the most recent quarter, even though sales have lagged over the same period 1 year ago. And November is on track to be the S&P 500's best month in a year. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
If you are like our preacher, there are times in your life when you just feel down or depressed. You may feel empty and like something is missing in your life. You are longing for something more, something better. The writer of Psalm 42 felt this way. He realized what he was longing for was God, but he didn't feel like God was hearing him. The writer says, "As a deer pants for flowing streams, so pants my soul for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God." He continues by asking, "Where is my God?" It's okay to feel this way. At times, we all struggle with being lost and alone. The writer goes on to say he goes to the house of the Lord, spending time with God's people and praising God. He then says that he prays and remembers that God is his rock. He ends the psalm by saying he keeps his hope in God. Be with God's people, sing praises, pray. Remember that God is always there and is strong to handle our questions and doubts, even when we don't feel it. At Country Club Road, we are here when you feel alone. Let us support you when you are struggling. We are here for you.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And that's going to do it for us. Have an amazing weekend. We'll talk to you bright and early on Monday. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.